Chapter 401 Important Match. After a good round of discussion, Chen Shang and Wu Keiming went to another great hall. After having inquired about the situation, Wu Keiming said to Chen Shang, "The guy with 1,400 points can be challenged at this moment. I will file a challenge on behalf of you. He will come and fight you in half an hour." There is also one bad news: the participants with 1,500 and 2,000 points are already fighting. Whoever won will enter the top 50. Chen Shang said, "Well, then, wouldn't that mean that the guy on the 50th position with 3,300 points will be pushed down? At that time, I can challenge him just the same." "I guess you're right, however, that guy might be very strong," Wu Keiming said. "I'm also not weak," Chen Shang laughed and said. In the Great Hall, Chen Shang was waiting for his opponent. "Little Bald, as long as someone hasn't entered the top 50, he needs to accept the challenge, right?" Chen Shang asked. However, there is one time he can refuse, and that is after he has won a match, because he will be allowed to have a day to rest, and within this period of time, he can refuse any challenge. Once one day is over, as long as someone challenged him, he had to come and fight even if it is in the middle of the night. Wu Keiming said. Chen Shang rolled his eyes as he smiled and said, "If I challenged someone at midnight, would he also have to fight? But of course, if it's my time to take a rest, can I still challenge others?" "Yes, you can." Chen Shang found loopholes in the rules. He slightly smiled. "I'm truly looking forward to it." Ji Yu Dongchen had also arrived. It was Chen Zhang's first battle of this round, and his opponent was quite powerful and was a very cautious person as well, or else, it would have been impossible for him to have 1,400 points. From the list, Chen Shang noticed that only 3 participants had 1,000 points and above under the top 50, the rest either had a couple hundred or a couple dozen points, and the total number of participants on the list were only 200 or so. Although it was like this, it was quite clear that King's Mainland was stronger because apart from Chen Shang, the rest were martial artists of the King's Mainland. The weakest amongst them was in the 9th level of the true martial realm, and they had a tacit understanding that the extreme state martial artists won't challenge the 9th level true martial realm martial artists. However, if it was martial artists of other mainlands, the extreme state martial artists would come and fight right off the bat. For instance, when Xiao Chou, who was from the Herculean family and was very strong, came up on the stage, a powerful King's Vein martial artists challenged him and subsequently defeated him. If no one is going to challenge 9th level true martial realm martial artists, then I will. Chen Shang secretly laughed in his heart. From looking at the points, it was quite evident that the participants from overseas were just here to send points, or else, it would have been simply impossible for someone to have more than 10,000 points amongst the King's Mainland martial artists. The list was updated every 3 hours and displayed the latest points and ranking as well as the participants who could be challenged. If someone's name had a red circle, it meant that the participant was in resting period, and if wasn't, then he or she could be challenged even in the middle of the night. "Li Zhijiao, is he also from Divine Martial Palace?" Chen Shang rubbing his chin glanced at a short and small man stepping inside the door. "Anyone who has over 1,000 points is basically fostered by the Divine Martial Palace," Wu Keiming said. Many people were concerned about the rankings. They had never imagined that Chen Shang would challenge Li Zhijiao, someone who had 1,400 points right off the bat. Although he only had 1,400 points, there was quite a high possibility for him to rush into the top 50, which was irrefutable proof of his strength. Li Zhijiao was quite handsome looking, but he wasn't tall and stalwart. Although he was short, his towering eyebrows made him appear exceptionally arrogant and imposing. And when he knew his opponent was Chen Shang, he was not only fearless, he was, on the contrary, excited. Although Chen Shang had won the sparring test easily, in the eyes of the true disciples of Divine Martial Palace, it was nothing. Last time, Chen Shang had won the first position in the alchemy competition, so he had quite a big reputation in the King's Mainland. If he could win against Chen Shang, he would garner all his reputation. The young and arrogant martial artists pursued reputation more than anything, for they had no shortage of resources due to the forces that fostered them. The only thing they desired was to make their names spread far and wide. "Don't think that since you can defeat that stupid Lei easily, you are very strong. I will let you experience the true strength of kings," Li Zhijiao said in a sharp and shrill voice. That kind of arrogant tone made Chen Shang quite unhappy, whereupon, he decided that he would definitely start with a heavy hand and ruthlessly teach him a lesson to let him feel how annoying Chen Shang felt. Chen Shang once again arrived at the huge martial arts field. This time, the martial arts stage was a bit bigger. Moreover, there was also an extra rule that as long as some stepped down from the stage, he would lose. Furthermore, this fight was also a life and death battle. Only those who didn't have a shred of fear during the contest could unleash their true strength, and that was why some Nirvana Realm tycoons would be observing from the sidelines, lest some mishap suddenly occurred. Just as Chen Shang stepped onto the stage, a news arrived stating that the guy with 1,500 points had defeated the participant with 2,000 points and entered the top 50 with a total point of 3,500. And the participant, who was previously on the 50th position with just 3,300 points, was pushed down, who in Chen Zhang's eyes was a large chunk of meat, which was ready to be eaten, and once Chen Shang did, he would enter the top 50. Humph, a guy with just 1 point had made me waste such a good opportunity. Let's fight quickly. I am anxious to challenge that guy. Li Zhijiao stared at Chen Shang with a disgusted look. Chen Shang too was feeling incessantly anxious. He was worried that he would miss the opportunity to challenge, as it was the fastest way for him to enter the top 50. Chen Shang smiled and said, I also want to quickly challenge him. At present, the spectators were increasing by the second. Wang Quan and the others, of course, won't want to miss this battle, as Li Zhijiao was a true disciple of the Divine Martial Palace. He was strong as well as had a high degree of attainment in martial artists. He wasn't anything like the man who was using the lightning before. Right on time. I wonder how powerful little rascal is after stepping into the extreme state. I'm truly looking forward to it. Hua Shangyu slightly smiled and said. She and Lu Menger had arrived together through the teleportation array. The two had covered their face in a veil and were dressed in white skirts. They appeared to be pure, beautiful, and inviolable. Many people would lower their head. When their gazes come in contact with their pretty eyes, they dared not look at them directly. The two were tycoons of their respective influence. They were strong, and a powerful aura would be unconsciously released by their body, which made many people who had insufficient strength tremble in fear. Young experts of other mainlands had once stepped onto the martial arts field to compete, but in the end, they returned with heavy injuries. Now, the others already dared not register. At present, Chen Shang was the only one who was from the other mainland that was participating in the king's martial arts meet. Old Wang, did you call them to come here? Ji Yu Dongchen asked with a smile. That's right, I wanted to let them see Huang Jintian's apprentice suffering a disastrous defeat here. They once used to have enmity with Huang Jintian. I thought that they would also want to see this scene. Wang Quan said with a sinister smile. Actually, I'd love to see little rascal win. Moreover, he can win. After all, that little rascal had even fooled me. And if he is defeated, that will be unfavorable to me. Lan Hai said with a laugh. At this instance, he no longer wanted to suppress Chen Shang, as Chen Shang had helped him acquire the martial exercise left behind by the founding fathers of his sect, thereby helping him know more things, for which he was too grateful. Chapter 402. Water restricts fire. Chapter 402. Water restricts fire. Most people wanted Chen Shang to win because when the martial artists of their respective mainlands had come to participate, they were beaten till they were heavily injured, and some were even crippled. The king's mainland had used very vicious means. At first glance, everyone could see that they had intentionally started with a heavy hand. Therefore, everyone was a bit disgusted by the king's mainland. I hope that you don't pay too much attention to victory and defeat, and can admit defeat timely, okay? I don't want to see anyone dying during the king's martial arts meet. Let the contest begin. Wang Quan said. Apart from the first two words that fell into Chen Shang and Li Zhijiao's ears, they turned deaf ears to rest of the words. Once the match began, flames emerged in Li Zhijiao's eyes as his body suddenly surged with a scorching aura before the flames appeared. His fists and legs were wrapped in flames, surging with an intense heat. At first glance, it was evident that he was a powerful flame martial artist. Chen Shang was the closest to Li Zhijiao, and he too had been shocked by the scorching heat waves erupting from Li Zhijiao. This kind of flames was stronger than his heavenly sun fire. What's going on? Chen Shang exclaimed in his heart. He possessed the heavenly sun fire whose flames were quite overbearing, yet the opposite party had stronger flames even without the fire spirit. Su Meiyao said, this guy should have at least 3 fire veins. Not to mention, you still can't unleash the full power of your heavenly sun fire spirit, so don't think that your fire spirit is too weak. Wait until you have enough true qi, then you will know how formidable your fire spirit is. Ji Yu Dongchen frowned. What powerful flames. Sure enough, geniuses can be found everywhere on the king's mainland. Lu Menger and Hua Shangyu, Both were flame users. They also knew that such flames could only be cultivated by someone who had multiple fire veins, or by using some heaven and earth treasures. Li Zhijiao is the Fire King of our king's mainland. Having noticed the complexion of the various powerhouses, Wang Quan proudly smiled. Li Zhijiao, when he noticed Chen Zhang's face filled with shock, also felt proud secretly in his heart. Whereupon, he let out a roar and charged at Chen Shang. However, surprisingly, just as Li Zhijiao leapt, he immediately fell on the ground. All he saw were many water vines that were as thick as a thigh tightly wrapped around his legs. After Chen Shang had stricken into the extreme state, his 5 elements true qi had equally become stronger. The water vines he had cast via the black tortoise divine exercise was also more formidable, they could entangle the others more tightly. Furthermore, the water attributed true qi cultivated via the divine exercise deadly suppressed the fire attributed true qi. The water vines continued to spread, deadly winding around Li Zhijiao's body. At present, Li Zhijiao was like a bunch of intensely burning flames that had a pot of water suddenly splashed upon them while a lot of steam rose from his body. Li Zhijiao was unable to move. After his body had thick water vines wound around it, the fire attributed true qi within his body turned weak. Furthermore, a lot of water attributed true qi drilled into his body, dousing the scorching hot true qi within his body. The outcome has been decided. Lu Menjie chuckled and said. With a smile on his face, Chen Shang slowly walked to the front of Li Zhijiao before he said with a laugh, if you had thrown in the towel, you would have been spared from the pain. I have already clarified in advance that my attacks are going to be quite brutal. Chen Shang, you are violating the rules, what in the bloody evil technique have you used? Li Zhijiao roared in anger. He believed that Chen Shang had used some devious means. Chen Shang smiled. Evil technique. If I did that, Senior Wang would have long stopped me. Most of the spectators were Nirvana realm martial artists. With one glance they had noticed that Chen Shang had released water vines by using his divine sense and rich water attributed true qi. However, in order to release those, he needed some skill in true qi mobilization method, which was nothing but a martial exercise. Chen Shang, if you have guts, don't use this kind of despicable tricks. Li Zhijiao was even unable to mobilize his true qi, let alone getting rid of these water vines that could even break boulders into pieces. It could all be blamed on your insufficient strength. If it was some truly powerful expert, he would have easily broken my little trick. Chen Shang teasingly said. Having noticed Chen Zhang's face filled with sarcasm, Li Zhijiao simmered in anger. Just as he wanted to open his mouth to curse, a palm came smacking directly over his face. Boom! Along with a thunderous sound, the land fiercely quaked, some of the houses even had cracks appeared on them. Whereupon, Li Zhijiao let out cries of agony as his head cocked to one side and he continuously spat blood along with some teeth. Shocking heaven palm. However, this time Chen Shang had cast the technique using the universe true qi with the fusion of 5 elements true qi, which was tremendously powerful. Even if the stage had arrays laid all over it, the arrays were still unable to negate such sudden shock waves and burst of power, making the martial arts field fiercely shake a bit. All the 5,000 true element grains inside Chen Zhang's dantian were illuminated. As a result of high compression, his true qi was extremely pure and contained terrifying power. If an enormous mountain was compressed to the size of rice grain but its weight remained unchanged, the corresponding power could very well be imagined. At present, the true qi released by Chen Shang was just like the countless compressed mass of qi that once used to as big as an enormous mountain. The power stored within the true qi was shocking. Whereas Li Zhijiao was unable to utilize his powerful true qi to resist Chen Zhang's shocking heaven palm, all he could do was use his flesh and body, and suffer terrifying injuries. Chen Zhang's palm had rendered him unable to utter anything. Not to mention, he was unable to mobilize his true qi, and even if he could, it still would have been extremely difficult for him to resist the shocking heaven palm cast using that kind of extreme level universe true qi. As long as his opponent was a martial artist of the king's mainland, Chen Shang would not go easy on him. Previously, he had already given Li Zhijiao an opportunity, but Li Zhijiao savored it. Whereupon, Chen Shang smacked with another palm, hitting on another side of Li Zhijiao's face. The slap on the cheek was as though he had been struck by a transparent lightning, which burst forth with a stifling explosion before the ground once again started shaking. You won't have the opportunity to throw in the towel. Chen Shang sneered as his pair of palms madly started dancing before countless trails of his palm suddenly appeared, entirely covering Li Zhijiao. Ji Yudongchen and the others had witnessed Chen Zhang's battles many times, yet they still could not help but feel jittery in their hearts. Under such rainstorm like shocking heaven palm, Li Zhijiao would surely be crippled if not dead. A series of continuous outbursts of shocks and explosions made many young martial artists of King's mainland feel dread. However, some of them were feeling a bit excited, for Chen Shang was a good opponent in their eyes. After Chen Shang had struck hundreds of palm, he kicked Li Zhijiao down the stage. Li Zhijiao's entire body, from head to toe, had been attacked by the terrifying shocking heaven palms. From inside to outside, his entire body was mangled. If it was a huge mountain, perhaps it had long been broken into pieces under such attacks of Chen Shang. From beginning to the end, Wang Quan had his fist tightly clenched while watching Chen Zhang's brutal attacks. However, all he could do was watch. Fortunately, Chen Shang had still been lenient, otherwise, he would have already killed Li Zhijiao. Regarding this, Wang Quan was unable to say anything, for the King's vain martial artists of King's mainland had treated the martial artists of other mainlands similarly. If he criticized Chen Shang, the tycoons of other mainlands would certainly scold him to death. Chapter 403, Continuous Challenges. Chapter 403 Continuous Challenges. After Chen Shang won, he quickly jumped off the stage and ran towards the distant Great Hall. He wanted to file a challenge to the guy who was just pushed down from the 50th position, which was about 3,300 points. Everyone could also understand why Chen Shang was so hasty. It was because Chen Shang didn't have much time, he only had 2 to 3 days. In this period of time, if he couldn't enter the top 50 due to insufficient points, he would be unable to enter the final round. Chen Shang quickly arrived at the Great Hall and filed an application to challenge the martial artist with 3,300 points. I want to challenge Chu Sheng, can he accept the challenge now? Chen Shang asked an old man. Chu Sheng was none other than the martial artist with 3,300 points. The old man was a bit perplexed because Chen Shang had challenged Li Zhijiao not so long ago, and yet he was here challenging Chu Sheng. Did Chen Shang win? At this time a middle-aged man rushed over and told the old man the result of Chen Zhang's match. It greatly astounded the old man because not much time has passed from the beginning to the end of the match. In the old man's cognition, Li Zhijiao should not be so weak. You can challenge Chu Sheng, but you will need to wait for 2 days. In the first place, he had entered the top 50 and no longer needed to fight, so he is cultivating in seclusion. We will inform him, and if he doesn't come to fight in 2 days, then it will be counted as a forfeit by default, then his points will be added to yours. The old man, while speaking, quickly updated the list, increasing Chen Shang point to 1,400. Had Li Zhijiao not been restrained by the water vines cast by Chen Shang would not have been able to so easily finish the match. Although Li Zhijiao was extremely strong, as Chen Shang had stated, Li Zhijiao absolutely would not be suppressed if there was not too big of a difference in strength. After Chen Shang had utilized the divine exercise and the rich black tortoise true qi, the subsequent water vine cast was rather powerful. One should bear in mind that the black tortoise adamantile armor had originally fused with his body, which was a divine armor and would boost Chen Zhang's offense. When Chen Shang cast the black tortoise divine exercise, his strength was subsequently boosted. When Ji Yudongchen and Wu Kaming arrived, Chen Zhang's face was brimming with a smile because he just needed to win one more match and he could enter the top 50. I still have to wait for 2 days, and that is also the deadline. Nevertheless, I will definitely take those 3,300 points at that time. It's best for you to take a rest, and maintain your best state for the upcoming battle. Ji Yudongchen laughed. Chen Shang rubbed his chin as though he had just thought of something. He suddenly bent over to the counter and asked the old man who was responsible for the challenges. Mister, there is still 2 days' time before Chu Sheng and I fight. I was wondering whether I can challenge others within these 2 days. The old man raised his head and looked at Chen Shang with eyes filled with surprise, but of course, he was originally someone in the top 50, and therefore, he hadn't prepared for battle. You are the first to challenge him, which can also be considered as your appointment with him. However, since you have to wait for a long time, you can challenge anyone you like in this period of time. Chen Shang burst into laughter as he said, I want to challenge this guy with 100 points, Chen Shang pointed at a name on the sheet. The old man nodded his head before he quietly sent someone to call the martial artist to come and fight. Wu Kaming and Ji Yudongchen glanced at each other before they shook their head while laughing. They realized what Chen Shang intended to do. At present, Chen Shang had 1,400 points, and he felt they were still insufficient. Moreover, he also wanted to make a fool of King's Mainland, so he began challenging the martial artists with low points. He wanted to heavily injure all these martial artists in these 2 days and eliminate them from the competition. Mister, if I am in top 50, can I still fight with Chu Sheng after 2 days? Chen Shang once again asked. But of course, because that's an appointment. Little guy, you can't underestimate our King's Mainland. Although those little rascals are proud and arrogant, they are in no way weak. The old man, of course, knew what Chen Shang wanted to do. Chen Shang just smiled. He had decided that in these 2 days while waiting for Chu Sheng, he would continuously challenge as much as possible and heavily injure some of those participating martial artists in order to help Xiao Chou vent his anger. When the spectators came to know that Chen Shang was only going to fight with the guy that had 3,300 points after 2 days, they began to leave one by one. They were going to wait and only come on that day. Although Chen Shang was also challenging some other participants, they believed that it wasn't worth watching. Even the guy who had 1,400 points had been easily defeated by Chen Shang. Those guys who only had just 100 points would definitely be easier. Wang Quan was burning with hatred in his heart. If he could modify the rules, he would definitely do it. At this instance, no one could challenge Chen Shang, but Chen Shang could challenge anyone arbitrarily, and those martial artists with low points would certainly be tortured by Chen Shang during the match. Li Zhijiao had suffered serious injuries. From head to toe, there wasn't a single part which was in good shape. All the bones in his entire body were broken into pieces, his internal organs were injured from the shock waves. Now, he was only hanging by a thread. If some miraculous dance aren't used, it would be difficult for him to ever heal. Previously, when Wang Quan witnessed the martial artists of the other mainlands being crippled and injured, he would feel happy in his heart. But now, when it was his King's Mainland's martial artists' turn to be crippled by others, he felt his heart ache. At this moment, his mood was extremely complex. At the beginning, he believed that by holding the King's martial arts meet, it would allow the disciples of his divine martial palace to torture disciples of the other mainlands, but who would have known that Chen Shang, this abnormality would be so strong, and pay him back with his own coin. On the martial arts stage, when Chen Shang looked at his opponent, the expression in his eyes was like that of a wolf that was gazing at a little white rabbit, because his opponent was just in the 9th level of true martial realm. Let the match begin, Wang Quan shouted. From the very beginning, Chen Shang rushed over at an extremely fast pace and raised his hand. He had cast none other than Shocking Heaven Palm. And just one palm had made his opponent seriously injured from the shock and was blown away. And 100 points were added to Chen Zhang's. Everyone should bear in mind that the participants of King's Mainland had a tacit understanding that the strong will not challenge the weak, but Chen Shang didn't care because strong martial artists of the King's Mainland dealt with weak martial artists of other mainlands. Chen Shang was worried that he would quickly enter the top 50, whereupon, he would not be able to challenge others, therefore, he especially challenged the participants with low points. This way, it would be possible for him to heavily injure more martial artists of the King's Mainland and eliminate them. Having won the match, Chen Shang once again at the fastest speed filed a challenge to another martial artist, which made Wang Quan seethe with anger. Chen Shang was clearly wrecking the event. The entire martial arts stage was laden with dry blood stains, which was the blood spewed by Chen Zhang's opponents. In just one day, Chen Shang had challenged 10 participants, and all of them were either in the 8th or 9th level of the true martial realm, and facing Chen Shang they had no other option but to lose, which also evoked the anger of many martial artists of the King's Mainland. Whereas, after the martial artists of the other mainlands came to know of this news felt extremely happy, for Chen Shang was doing what they always wanted to do but couldn't do. Late at night, Chen Shang ran to the hall and continued to file the challenges, for the rules stated that participants can be challenged even at the middle of the night. As Chen Shang had just stepped into the extreme state, he was energetic like a dragon and fierce like a tiger, and he had nowhere to vent the power in his body as most of his opponents had been defeated with only a single hit. Thus, he simply didn't need to rest. Chapter 404, Chu Sheng. Chapter 404 Chu Sheng. Chen Shang, the blood-vein martial artists of my King's Mainland will surely not let you off. In the eyes of my King's Mainland, you are nothing but an ant. A young man, who was lying flat on the ground and had blood overflowing from his mouth, said while clenching his teeth. Chen Shang coldly smiled and walked over. An ant? You aren't even a match for an ant like me, and you have the nerve to say this. The blood vein martial artists are blood vein martial artists, even if they can defeat me, it isn't the slightest related to you. You have been defeated here today, maybe they will think that you as someone who is even inferior to an ant, is bringing shame to their king's mainland, you better think over what martial art is. Chen Shang kicked the young man off the stage. Apart from Li Zhijiao, Chen Shang had been a lot lenient to his later opponents, however, he let them suffer a bit so that it would be difficult for them to recover within 2 to 3 months. Over these 2 days and nights, Chen Shang had been challenging the martial artists of the king's mainland, and all his opponents suffered the same fate, they were injured before they were kicked off the stage. At present, Chen Shang too had 3,300 points. He couldn't remember how many matches he had fought, all he knew that the power seething inside his body wasn't still abated, his passion was still ablaze. Even after continuously fighting for 2 days and nights, Chen Shang was only resting while waiting for others to arrive, the rest of the time he had always been on the stage. Of course, on the stage, he still didn't take too long to win. What made Chen Shang feel overwhelmingly flattered was that Wang Quan had actually been following him by presiding over the contest over all this time. Wang Quan was worried that in his absence, Chen Shang would start ruthlessly and kill those good seedlings of King's mainland during the match. At present, he heaved a sigh of relief. Chen Shang had not started as ruthlessly as he had imagined at all, but let the memories of their corresponding match forever etched in their mind. In just a short period of 2 days, Chen Shang had gone from 1 point to 3,300 points. Such strength was seldom seen even in the king's mainland. Today was the day when Chen Shang and Chu Sheng were going to compete. If Chu Sheng still didn't arrive, Chen Shang would win Chu Sheng's 3,300 points, and enter the top 50 with a high number of points. Over these 2 days, all the participants were haunted with fear because they were worried Chen Shang would challenge them. They had seen how brutally Chen Shang attacked. They didn't want to face Chen Shang, not even a bit. And when the participants were challenged, a small number of them chose to throw in the towel. Chu Sheng arrived with a calm smile on his face. He was tall and thin just like a bamboo pole, fairly handsome too, however, his complexion was a bit pale, giving off an impression of a dead man. However, his smile made him quite amiable. Looking at Chu Sheng, Chen Shang was somewhat surprised. Chu Sheng was quite different from his previous opponents because Chu Sheng was dressed in simple clothing. His long gown was quite clean and was a bit dilapidated too, there weren't any luxurious ornaments or clothing on him, from head to toe. Someone like Chu Sheng, who had 3,300 points and was dressed like this indeed surprised many people. The tycoons of other mainlands were whisperingly discussing Chen Zhang's opponent. As Chen Zhang's opponent today was the strongest, the tycoons of various mainlands had also arrived to watch. On one hand, they wanted to see as to which step Chen Zhang's strength had reached, while on the other hand, they wanted to look at Wang Quan's complexion. This guy is quite strange, is he really a blood vein martial artist? Hua Shangyu said with a frown. He seems to be, however, why does a blood vein martial artist have so little points? Did he deliberately do this? Lu Menjie also found it extremely strange. Many had noticed that Chu Sheng was a blood vein martial artist. During the time when Chu Sheng walked up on the stage, Chen Shang had already discovered the peculiarity. Well, originally I was planning to sleep and let you take my 3,300 points, however, I thought that it won't be bad to fight with Huang Jintian's apprentice. Chu Sheng sighed and said. Having heard his statement, Chen Shang was taken by surprise for a moment. Chen Shang smiled and said, what I don't understand is why do you have so little points? A blood vein martial artist should not be like this. Chu Sheng wryly smiled and said, no way, I am too lazy. I thought that there wasn't too much time, so I didn't want to move. I have a friend who is also very lazy. However, he is fat but you don't even have a bit of fat, Chen Shang said with a laugh. He felt that this Chu Sheng wasn't too bad, he was completely different from the young martial artists of King's mainland he had encountered before. Chu Sheng laughed and said, I think that when he is being lazy, he either eats or sleeps, but when I am being lazy, I will neither eat nor sleep, I will just lie down and won't move, sometimes, I am even too lazy to eat even when I want to. Chen Shang was startled, this kind of character was indeed a rare and wonderful existence. He suddenly felt that he could not see through this Chu Sheng. To tell you the truth, I obtained these 3,300 points in a fight. If you can make me see what I want to see, I will give them to you, said Chu Sheng. Chen Shang's face was laced with doubt as he asked, what do you want to see? I want to see your strongest power. Chu Sheng said after pondering for a long while. I am afraid you will need to diligently attack me and force me to attack you with the strongest power. Chen Shang smiled. It seems that I can't act lazy. Chu Sheng smiled. The match had already begun, however, the two, instead of taking any action, were first chatting. Now, both of them felt that the other person was a good guy. Since Brother Chen have come from afar, I will let you make the first move. I want your all-powerful shocking heaven palm, said Chu Sheng. Just as his voice faded away, Chen Zhang's shout came, as you wish. Chen Shang swooped over and smacked a palm. His palm was wrapped in an invisible true qi that hacked down like an axe. Meanwhile, Chu Sheng also fired a punch, greeting Chen Zhang's shocking heaven palm. When the punch and the palm fiercely clashed with each other, the congregation of experts believed that the clash would burst forth with a shock. However, what surprised everyone was not only the ground wasn't shaking, not even a small noise was produced. Chen Zhang's entire face was laced with a huge shock. He hastily retreated. He got far away from Chu Sheng. The shocking heaven palm he had smacked a moment ago was quite strong, however, when it came in contact with Chu Sheng's punch, its power disappeared just like a stone sinking in an ocean, seemingly sucked away. What the hell happened? Did you notice anything? Chen Shang asked Su Meiyao and the others. The spectating experts around the stage also burst into a discussion regarding the method used by Chu Sheng. Wang Quan's face was beaming with smiles. He laughed and said to Ji Yudongchen, I think your young martial uncle is going to be stopped here. Chu Sheng has a special power. No matter what kind of attacks hits him, they would all be negated and would transform into spirit qi that will diffuse into the air. Ji Yudongchen dismissively said, this is just the beginning, who knows what will happen in the end. Neither Su Meiyao, nor Bai Yuyu, or Long Shuiyi replied to Chen Shang. Meanwhile, Chen Shang once again started attacking. He punched at Chu Sheng, while each punch metamorphosed into a white tiger's head as countless shadows of punches filled the sky and madly attacked towards Chu Sheng. However, Chu Sheng just faintly smiled as a layer of gray light shield appeared over his body. After Chen Zhang's punches landed on the light shield, he felt that all his power had suddenly disappeared. Chapter 405, Dark Power. Chapter 405 Dark Power. When Chen Shang discovered that his attacks weren't working, he retreated back by 10 steps as he looked at Chu Sheng with a solemn look. He knew that Chu Sheng had some kinds of means through which he could absorb the strength of his techniques and was thinking of countermeasures to deal with that, otherwise, he would definitely lose this match. Water Vine. Just as Chen Shang released those water vines, they disappeared. To his dismay, he couldn't even use them. Chu Sheng just looked at him with a happy smile. Brother Chen, is that all you got? Having said that, Chu Sheng's figure instantly flickered before he arrived next to Chen Shang and brandished a punch, striking upon Chen Zhang's cheek. His punch was terrifyingly fast. To Chen Zhang's dismay, he wasn't even able to gauge his actions. The punch heavily landed on Chen Zhang's cheek, yet he didn't fly out but retreated a few steps. There wasn't even a bruise over his face. Evidently, he had not suffered any grave injuries at all. This time it was Chu Sheng's turn to be surprised. The punch he had just fired wasn't weak at all. Furthermore, after the punch struck, Chen Shang couldn't resist with any true qi whatsoever as he had the ability to disintegrate any true qi there was. However, Chen Shang just retreated a few steps. Such a powerful impact had just made him retreat. Chen Shang touched his face as he slightly smiled. That's all you got too. It seems, you cannot use true qi as well, because once true qi comes in contact with you, it will all be melted away. Am I right? Just a moment ago, Chen Shang had not sensed any particular characteristics of true qi, but he did sense a strange power. This power was quite strong but it wasn't true qi. Chen Shang reckoned that this power was what decomposed the true qi. Oh, you noticed. That's right, I can't utilize true qi. However, I have another kind of power. This power can allow me to congeal my true qi in a powerful disintegrating power as well as allow me to have powerful strength, said Chu Sheng. Chen Shang once again charged towards Chu Sheng. His speed was still very fast and he had gathered universe true qi on his leg so that he could run at faster speed. Watching Chen Shang charging at him the second time, Chu Sheng shook his head and said, no need, you better come up with your strongest attack. I want to disintegrate your strongest true qi attack. Just as he finished speaking, Chen Shang had already jumped over and raised his fist and punched fiercely, smashing upon Chu Sheng's cheek. Bang! After Chen Zhang's punch landed upon Chu Sheng's cheek, it burst forth with a bone-cracking sound while Chu Sheng flew to one side. Chu Sheng was aghast. He felt a few of his teeth break. Chen Zhang's punch was quite strong, which he found difficult to believe. However, soon, he thought of another possibility. What Chen Shang used was physical strength. Chen Zhang's physique was extremely strong. At the same level of cultivation, he was unbeatable. He cultivated the suppressing devil divine exercise. After attaining the suppressing devil golden body, his immortal and devil body had soared to the 10th level. And when he stepped into the extreme state, that vigorous ability had undergone baptism, while the suppressing devil golden body had advanced by 3 levels, and now, his immortal and devil body was at 13th level. Hey, don't underestimate me, Chen Shang said with a laugh. He rushed at quick speed as he quickly made a charge and burst forth with powerful momentum which through his punch turned into a powerful strength. Chen Shang had noticed that Chu Sheng had a weak physique because Chu Sheng was quite thin. He reckoned that it was the result of cultivating that strange power. Thus in regards to the physique, Chu Sheng was far inferior to Chen Shang. As Chen Shang attacked again, Chu Sheng immediately tried to jump, but just as he wanted to dodge Chen Zhang's punch, when Chen Zhang's punch had still not landed, Chen Shang opened his mouth to roar as an azure aura spewed out from his mouth, along with an ear-piercing dragon roar that directly shook Chu Sheng's mind, making him feel a slight headache. Azure Dragon Roar was created with true qi. Once it came in contact with Chu Sheng, it dissipated and disappeared, but it also caused a spirit attack which slowed Chu Sheng down a bit. Taking advantage of the moment when Chu Sheng was in a trance, Chen Shang fiercely punched and his fist directly landed upon Chu Sheng's nose before he quickly punched again and again, and all of them landed dead right upon Chu Sheng's head. Whenever Chen Shang punched, he would gather a large amount of true qi in his arm, which would, in turn, promote his punching speed and the momentum it carried, so that his punch was not only faster, it was stronger as well, causing the punch to have a fearsome power. Chen Zhang's punch didn't have any true qi, it just contained a terrifying momentum, which when landed upon Chu Sheng's thin and weak face, caused very serious injuries. Just a while ago, when everyone was still discussing on how to deal with Chu Sheng's mysterious disintegrating method, they got to witness how Chen Shang rendered Chu Sheng with just his physical strength, unable to fight back. As long as one could avoid true qi contact with Chu Sheng, anyone could attack Chu Sheng. Indeed, it was a good method, however, the premise was that one had a powerful physique. Originally, Chen Shang has fallen leeward, but he had turned the situation around very quickly. Everyone incessantly praised Chen Zhang's rich experience, that he found a suitable way to deal with the enemy so quickly. Having had his head fiercely beaten by Chen Zhang's mad punches, Chu Sheng burst into fury and suddenly roared as a grey light flashed. Whereupon, a light grey thing was congealed over his fists, giving off the impression of a light grey glove. Chu Sheng's powerful punch landed upon Chen Zhang's chest which made Chen Shang fly back. Had it not for Chen Shang bursting forth with true qi to stabilize himself, perhaps he would have been flown off the stage. Puff! Chen Shang spat a mouthful of blood as he gazed at Chu Sheng. Whereas both of Chu Sheng's hands seemed to be completely wrapped in grey, which was exuding a kind of bizarre power, making Chen Shang incessantly shocked. Chu Sheng's face had been battered black and blue, yet he didn't get angry, on the contrary, he smiled and said, "For so many years, you are the first who had made me like this. Even if you won't unleash your strongest power to attack me, I will use my strongest attack to defeat you. You can come anytime." Chen Shang slightly smiled, without a sliver of fear whatsoever. Chu Sheng's figure flickered before he swooped over. The smile on Chen Zhang's face suddenly disappeared, because Chu Sheng's punch had already landed upon his face ruthlessly. After he was hit, the punch also burst forth with an explosion, making his ear ring with a buzzing noise and eyes blurry. He was hit with a terrifying headache. Just as the left side of his face was attacked, the right side of his face was soon hit also. Just a moment ago, as Chen Shang had attacked Chu Sheng was attacking Chen Shang in a similar way. However, his attacks were a lot more powerful as compared to that of Chen Zhang's. Just after 10 punches, Chen Zhang's consciousness was blurry, seemingly about to faint. The power this guy is using is called dark power. He should have a dark vein, through which he is able to cultivate dark power. Certainly, someone must have guided him in cultivation, or else, he would have been unable to arrive at this step. If the person cultivating dark power deviated from the course, it could quite possibly lead him to his own death. It is very dangerous. Su Meiyao finally spoke. People who have dark veins are quite rare. This is a very extraordinary pulse, which can congeal dark power by absorbing spirit qi. What makes it the strongest is that it can disintegrate true qi, turning the true chi back to its most primeval state before it is absorbed by the dark power user. Bai Yu said. Chen Shang was already beaten to the point that he could not fight back. The offense of his opponent was simply too fierce. Not to mention, he couldn't even use his true chi, not even the slightest. Chapter 406, Strongest Power. Sisters, you finally answered. Quickly think of a way, I'm gonna lose. Chen Shang cried in his heart. We were meditating, therefore we couldn't immediately answer you. Your opponent's dark energy is bad news. Let us think again. Honestly speaking, it is also our first time seeing someone use dark energy, we had only heard it before. Su Meiyao was also very worried. At this moment, Long Shui yawned, laughed, how troublesome is this? Tell you what, these people who cultivates dark energy are all an arrogant bunch. Many powerful figures will tend to avoid upon meeting them, even those who are more powerful than them would not want to slight them. But our Royal Dragon Clan, one, is not afraid at all. Quote. Chen Shang scolded softly, so Little Dragon, too, was sleeping. Quickly tell me how to fight them. Mix your magic into your junchi, and the dark energy will not be able to do anything. This is why this kind of person only can beg for forgiveness when meeting my Royal Dragon Clan. Mix your magic into your junchi and just punch him. Said Long Shui. Chen Shang followed exactly, activating the magic within his conscious, mixing it with his junchi, and shooting out from his arms. It looked like he roared, both arms suddenly turn ablaze, two red like hot metal like fists shot out at the same time, one at the top, one at bottom, hitting Chu Sheng's chest and stomach, quickly punching away Chu Sheng. Chen Shang wiped the blood trace from the corner of his mouth, his whole face swelling. He got abused by Chu Sheng harshly. Ying Mong'er and Hua Shangyu was originally very worried about Chen Shang. They wanted to use divine sense to persuade Chen Shang to give up, otherwise it would be serious if he got crippled. Other strong warriors who saw Chen Shang got beat up like that thought that it would be hard to retaliate, but now Chu Sheng instead got beaten by Chen Shang, while using junchi nonetheless. The whole crowd was silent, even the big mouth, Wang Kuan-yi, was staring at Chen Zhang's pair of red fists. How is this possible? Junchi should not able to hit Chu Sheng. Wang Quan muttered to himself. Chu Sheng was he involved party, the most shocked was also him. Ever since he cultivated dark energy, only nirvana-level junchi can suppress him, otherwise upon touching his body, it will be dissolved by his body's dark energy, turning it into its original state, either getting dissipated or absorbed into his body. But when Chen Shang used junchi to punch him, it was the first time he was hurt by junchi over so many years. That was a kind of hot energy. His body's spot that got hit was like a red-hot metal, giving a stinging pain. Chu Sheng crawled up, creased his brows and asked, "How did you do that?" Chen Shang smiled without replying him. "I will tell you only if you can beat me. Didn't you always want to see my strongest state? I'll show you now." Upon hearing, Chu Sheng was serious. He quickly circulated his dark energy within his body. Now his body was covered by a gray cover. "Come, just now was just my mistake. This time I'm going to dissolve your strongest attack." Chu Sheng was very confident. This is because he is very confident about his dark energy. This was not him being proud, this was what he learned from sparring over the years. Chen Shang hesitated. "I'm worried I might beat you to death. I don't hate you, I just want to make you lose, not having you carry a serious injury when you leave the stage." Chu Sheng laughed. "Just come at me. If I really died under your strongest attack, I won't blame you. It's fine if you cripple me, as it is better than being dead. If it really did happen, it will be because I'm weak." The crowd can see that both Chen Shang and Chu Sheng are the type that enjoys sparring. Even if they were defeated or crippled, they will not blame the opponent. Unlike Chen Zhang's previous opponents, who were arrogant the moment they stepped on stage, wanting to step on Chen Shang like an ant immediately. Chen Zhang's strongest power, what could it be? The crows was also very curious. Although Chu Sheng is a blood warrior 3, but he did not cultivate junchi, thus it was difficult to determine his overall strength. Furthermore, he cultivates an unusual energy. It was able to dissolve others' junchi. This caused others to be unable to determine Chu Sheng's true strength. Chen Shang held out his fist and faint white rays suddenly came out from his fist. At the same time, the whole floor started to slightly shake. Chu Sheng at that point in time had a face full of horror. His body got pressured by the energy from Chen Zhang's fist until he had to retreat. The strong warriors in the crowd also had faces full of horror. This kind of energy was something that most of them knew of. It was even unforgettable to some, because they were defeated by Huang Mintian using this kind of energy. Dragon power. The ability to a dragon kind of energy. Chen Shang originally was only able to gather up a small ball of it, but after reaching the ultimate realm, was able to cover his whole arm. Upon unleashing the dragon power, it gave out an energy storm, swept towards the surrounding. Many who came forward to watch was at martial stage but was still being pushed away repeatedly by this gush of energy. Only those at nirvana level and those at the ultimate realm could still stand. Not bad, this kid can use this kind of energy at this time. Ji Yudong Chen marveled, he's experienced this kind of energy's prowess, his teacher used to always use this kind of energy to hit him. Wang Quan face ashen, didn't Huang Mintian that crazy old fellow say, only those who are at ultimate realm can gather this kind of energy. Chu Sheng didn't know what kind of energy was that, but he was very excited, because Chen Shang didn't lie to him. This type of energy was really strong. If he knew what kind of energy this is, he might not be able to continue on. Very strong, but it is made from junqi. Chu Sheng smilingly said, as long as it is junqi, I can dissolve it. Wang Quan originally wanted to stop Chu Sheng, but after hearing what Chu Sheng had said, he also wanted to have a look at whether Chu Sheng's cultivation on dark energy is able to dissolve this dragon power. If it can be dissolved, then Chu Sheng would be able to defeat Chen Shang. This was a good thing. Long Shuiling said in disdain, add magic, and send the guy flying. People who uses dark energy are the worst. Quote. Chen Shang smirked, and sped forwards. This was his first time using dragon power to hit someone. Furthermore, the opponent was standing there letting him hit. This kind of good thing doesn't come by often. The ground was constantly shaking. This was because the dragon power was too strong. Along with Chen Shang darting in, dragon power received a violent turbulence, making the ground shake more violently. Goodbye. While Chen Shang was running in, he smiled faintly. What? Chu Sheng just finished saying this word, when Chen Zhang's fist that contains strong dragon power like a flash of white light, hits Chu Sheng in the chest. The crowd only saw blood spewing out like arrow from Chu Sheng's mouth. With a shoo sound, Chu Sheng was sent flying by that terrifying energy, instantly sank into the distant white cloud, disappearing. Wang Quan was stunned for a moment, and also instantly disappeared from there, chased towards the direction that Chu Sheng was sent flying. Hey, you haven't announced that I have won. Chen Shang said shouted with a grin. One Royal Dragon Clan literal translation from Chinese IDK what the previous translators use. 2 Little Dragon, some sort of nickname I guess. Also directly translated from Chinese. 3 Blood Warrior, direct translated, not sure about how previous translator deal with this word. Chapter 407, Good Appetite. Chapter 407, Good Appetite. One punch sent Chu Sheng flying. This kind of energy made everyone present gasp. Dragon power was very powerful, but the crowd knew that to cultivate it would be very difficult, because you need to have true chi of the 5 elements, and your fleshly body had to be powerful enough and true chi gathered had to be thick enough. Even so, many people still wanted to obtain the Taiji's descending dragon skill, but now they could not ask from Chen Shang anymore, otherwise it wouldn't be moral. Chen Shang allowed them to get the martial skills left behind by old patriarch. This itself is already a favor. How could they, who stands at the pinnacle of strength, be ungrateful? Chen Shang originally had 3,300 points, adding Chu Sheng's 3,300 points, is 6,600 points in total. He is now ranked 10, and there is still half a day to the end. In this half a day left he definitely will not be pushed out. In a short span of 2 days, Chen Shang jumped to rank 10. It is needed to know that previously when the rules weren't perfect, people had to fight countless battles to accumulate enough points to be ranked in front, but now Chen Shang only needed 3 days to reach this rank. This made all the warriors in Wang's continent felt shock. At the same time there is some who are jealous of Chen Shang, the foreigner. Because Chen Shang wasn't from Wang's continent, and also got a good position, of course this will make the people of Wang's continent uncomfortable. Ranking competition was already over. Those ranked below 50 were all eliminated, unable to proceed to the next round. The person who squeezed into the 50th was very depressed, because he had just made it into the cut, but he got pushed down again. This was all because of Chen Shang. Chen Shang waited for 1 hour, only then did Wang Quan return. Old Wang, he's not dead right? Chen Shang asked with care. He didn't die, but was injured very seriously. He needs at least 1 month of rest. Wang Quan shook head and sighed, carrying Chu Sheng away. At this moment Ji Yudongchen patted Chen Shang on the shoulder, laughed, "Little martial uncle, it wouldn't be hard for you if you want to place first. Never would I have thought that you can already use your dragon power. Back then my master told me that he could only use dragon power at the pinnacle of nirvana." Quote. Chen Shang laughed. I wonder what is the next stage. It would be good if it is only sparring. I think this Wang's continent will definitely make things difficult to try to eliminate me. Wu Kaming laughed. Very possible, but little martial uncle will definitely be able to handle it. Of course I can, I made it to top 50, shouldn't you guys show some expression? Chen Shang looked at Ji Yudongchen and Wu Kaming. Alright, I'll invite you to a meal. Ji Yudongchen looked like he had lost a part of his flesh. I have to call Xiao Dao, Zhu Rong, they did not watch me spar just now, so they will definitely complain. Chen Shang laughed. Ji Yudongchen then felt more painful. Zhu Rong was a big eater, his appetite was shockingly big. Ji Yudongchen was the person in charge of Wang Pai Inn, he invited Zhu Rong to eat there before, at that time Zhu Rong mercilessly ate and it costed him a lot of crystal stones. 1. After reaching Tai Wu clan, Chen Shang immediately went to find Yun Xiaodao and his group, and then followed Ji Yudongchen to the inn. On the way he started blowing his own trumpet, saying how he won the Wang's continent warrior. Xiao Chao's wound was much better, don't belittle him because of his size, when he starts eating he's not unambiguous. Ji Yudongchen couldn't understand how his small stomach can fit so much stuff. When eating, Chen Shang and group didn't say a single word, just like a hungry ghost, they frantically swallowed down different types of expensive dishes. These dishes wasn't just made with rare vegetation, it was also made with delicious demon meat and spirit beasts. Wu Qianqin didn't come as Chen Shang couldn't find her, although she is a lady, after mixing with Chen Shang, she would be like Chen Shang eating frantically every time they come to this inn, not looking a bit ladylike at all. Ji Yudongchen and Wu Kaming are at one side, Wu Kaming would only smile at them, while Ji Yudongchen is secretly calculating the worth of how much has Chen Shang and company ate. Shui Xianglin and Lei Zhang are blockheads, and after meeting Zhu Rong, this professional eater, they were also quite experienced in eating. Lian Mingdong was even better, he was born in the rich land of Lianhua Island, he's starting eating delicacies since young, now that he get to eat, he would naturally not let it go. After all they were invited by Tai Wu clan's elder disciple, of course they would not be so formal, otherwise it would look like they don't give Tai Wu clan any face. Only Hao Dongqing and Yao Haisheng is more low-profiled. After eating for a while, they stopped and stayed at the side to watch. Everyone let's eat more, till the day turns dark, haha, Chen Shang laughed and said while chewing on a demon meat. Seeing Ji Yudongchen's miserly face, he would feel a strange sense of excitement in his heart. 3 days 3 nights had passed. Chen Shang and his group can't remember how many dishes and wine they had ordered, anyway if they were to continue eating, it would probably result in internal injury. Almost time, Bill please, Chen Shang laughed, they were all strong warriors, food eaten can be converted to energy quickly, so they digests very fast. Chen Shang and his group left quickly, but Ji Yudongchen had to foot the bill, although he was an elder disciple, he could not credit the bill, and he came here to eat often, so he is familiar with the cashier, thus right now he can only withstand the pain of taking out his crystal stones. Say martial brother, you are too petty, it is only a small bit of crystal stones. Wu Kaming was relatively speechless on this. What do you know, as the saying goes, accumulating small amounts will lead to larger amounts, accumulating a lot of times will lead to an astronomical amount. I wanted to quickly rise to Sky Realm too, but this little martial uncle only thinks about how to spend about my crystal stones every day, you don't even know how distressed I am. Ji Yudongchen sighed. The next stage starts 10 days later, Chen Shang had 10 days worth of rest. But he did not rest at all in these 10 days, he was gathering large amount of golden dragon saliva in order to grow the white jade lotus, because after reaching the ultimate realm, 5-element true chi pill had very little benefit to him already. This was also the reason why he was distressed. As his cultivation grows, the pills that he eats will also follow suit, thus he had to refine Zon middle grade pills to replace it. Since he had to stop a while before the spirit warrior realm, he planned to collect all the ingredients for the Zon middle grade pill within this period of time. Thus he planned to exchange the rare white jade lotus for medicinal ingredients. This will make things a lot simpler. Your golden dragon saliva's quality has improved a lot, your refining speed should be a lot faster in the future. Su Meiyao said. Chen Shang was considering what he should do with the huge amount of foundation pills that he currently have. If used properly, one foundation pill can produce a true warrior realm warrior. He now had 200 plus pills, and also a lot of ingredients. Raising your own advantage is the best. If you have this thinking, I will help you create a training plan to raise an army full of true warrior realm warriors. Especially when facing against the upcoming Third World War's little demon, this big army will have huge lethality. Bai Yuyu said. Crystal stones, directly translated. Also, if you know what the previous translators used for this currency, please do comment about it. Sky realm, not sure what it means or does, as I didn't finish the novel. Chapter 408. Golden Lion Eagle. Chapter 408. Golden Lion Eagle. No one knew when did the Three Great Realm War started, but Chen Shang could tell from the Elder Master's upper head that there is still a period of time, otherwise they wouldn't be nurturing disciples calmly. For example, Ji Yudongchen, he bought quite a big amount of foundation pills from Chen Shang already. Chen Shang planned to nurture a team of true warriors, consisting of around 100 men. He was only planning now. He need to collect better spirit ingredients to refine better pills after the end of King's martial arts competition. At that time he will also need to rely on better pills rather than just foundation pills. 10 days of rest passed very quickly. Chen Shang followed Ji Yudongchen and Wu Caming to King's Continent one day earlier. Currently Chen Shang is inside a city in King's Continent. He have not visited other places in King's Continent. He also did not dare to walk around by himself to avoid trouble. Chen Shang arrived at a luxurious hall. There was 49 other King's Continent warriors inside. Chen Shang recognized a few of them. It was those who always follows Wang Quan around. Chen Shang guessed that their points are also very high. Seeing Chen Shang arriving, those 40+ young disciple all looked towards Chen Shang. This made Chen Shang felt weird as he realized that he looked like a rabbit, being targeted by a group of wolves. Within the group of 49 young disciple, there was 10+ ladies, and Chen Shang didn't know that King's Continent ladies were so powerful that so many made it in the top 50. Okay, now I'll announce the info about the next stage. This is a test to test you guys. This stage focuses on speed, and those who makes it to the appointed destination wins. Wang Quan said. Upon hearing, Chen Shang laughed in his heart. He participated in a speed competition hosted by Tai Wu clan before, and he directly used Zhu Ke Flame Eagle to fly, achieving first, so right now he could also use this again. Let me explain the rules. On the way to the destination, there should not be any conflicts and blocking of others to proceed. Also, the road to the destination are filled with obstacles. For example, spirit beasts raised by us will attack and stop you. Or spirit warrior in extreme realm disciples will also try to stop you. You will need to defeat them to continue forward. Of course, if you have the ability, you can also shake them off. While Wang Quan is explaining the rules, Chen Shang saw Wang Quan's look, and scolded in his heart. He guessed that Wang Quan will definitely take special care of him. At that time there would probably be a lot of things to block him from continuing. Can we fly? Asked a lady timidly. You can fly, but traveling in air is more dangerous. You guys should be aware that our spirit hall has raised a bunch of golden lion eagles, although they are only grade 9th ping stage spirit beasts, but when they group up, it is even dangerous for those at extreme realm, Wang Quan said. Chen Shang isn't afraid of these things at all, and he even planned to see what the legendary golden lion eagles are like. From books that he had read, it is said that this spirit beast had the body of a tiger, wings of an eagle, claws of an eagle, eye of an eagle, a beak for a mouth, and a body of a horse with adamantine feathers, but it is very light, and its flying speed was also very fast. When they group up, they were like the overlord of the sky. Upon hearing that they will be intercepted by golden tiger eagles, everyone was slightly surprised. They all knew what the result would be if they were to meet with groups of thousands of golden tiger eagles. Thousands of golden tiger eagles. Chen Shang was shocked when overheard this from the soft discussions made by Spirit Hall disciples. Golden tiger eagles. Hee, this kind of things cannot evolve at all. It will forever stay at spirit beast realm and never make it to a bison beast. Long Xueling laughed in disdain. Just then, Wang Quan shouted, I'll give you 1 more hour to prepare. Now I will give you all a map. Once you reach there, all you have to do is knock on the big bell there and it will count as you have reached there. Only the first 20 can proceed to next stage, the others will be eliminated. Chen Shang held onto a map. Both Ji Yudongchen and Wu Caming frowned when they saw that the destination was very far and they need to cross multiple mountains and huge rivers to reach it. That's as almost half of the King's Continent. It would take at least a year using a normal steed to get there, said Wu Caming. Even riding a steed takes 1 year. Chen Shang exclaimed. King's Continent sure is big. I wonder how long would it take to reach there with my current speed. Chen Shang continued to look at the map, as he would definitely be flying in the sky, so he had no need to know the situations at the ground. Little martial uncle, those golden tiger eagles' speed is very fast. You would probably get caught up even if you use the flame eagle, said Wu Caming. Chen Shang laughed. You have belittled me. I have confidence in my speed. Wu Kaming and Ji Yudongshan shook their heads, as they did not have a lot of understanding towards Chen Zhang's speed. Long Xueling gave a charming humph and said, "Relax, I dare to say that those things that cannot even evolve won't be faster than you. You baddie, didn't you say that you wanted to build a batch of true warrior army? Shouldn't you need a sort of ride?" Chen Zhang's flinched, saying, "Army? That uses too much resource, I can't afford it. About 100 men is enough." "Che, only 100 men. You have to have at least 3,000. That should be imposing enough, I believe you can do it." Long Xueling laughed. 3,000 true warrior. It definitely is imposing enough, but that would not only need mere 3,000 foundation pills, but also help of other pills, but the strength of stage 1 or 2 true warrior is not enough. Chen Shang believed that they should be at least at true warrior stage 3. "If you promise me to make 3,000 true warrior forces, I will bring you to find golden flying tiger. It is much better than those mixed bred lion eagles. If you don't believe me you can ask little Bai Hu." Bai Junjun's delicate voice sounded, "Master, what Long Jiji said is true. Golden flying tiger can become a zon beast, and it is easier to tame than those lion eagles, but it is very rare and very less in amount. There is no need to worry about the amount, leave it to me." Long Xueling smiled. Chen Shang gave out a bitter laugh. "Army of 3,000 men, I'm afraid that I don't have enough time. It will need a lot of foundation pills and good seedlings to make it happen." "There will definitely be enough time. The 3 Great Realm War won't start any time soon, even though there is a crack. Judging from those factions that let out the news, they definitely think that there is still time for them to prepare," said Su Meiyao. Chen Shang sighed. "All right, I'll try my best to plant more ingredient for foundation pill." Resting time is over. Chen Shang and group were brought to the square. They will start racing from here to the distant finishing line. Chapter 409, Blue Blood Clan. Chapter 409, Blue Blood Clan. Wang Quan shouts, "Start!" 50 young warriors instantly shot out like an arrow from a bow, disappearing from view in a flash, running out of the Spirit Hall Square's gates, through the alleys and roads within the city so fast that everyone already lost vision of them. "Let's wait at the destination," said Wang Quan. Ji Yudongshan and Wu Kaming nodded. Originally there were quite a number of upper heads coming from other continents, but they left after knowing that the competition was a boring race. They only wanted to watch sparring, particularly Chen Zhang's sparring, and hope that they might be able to witness the key points of Tai Chi subduing dragon divine art. Just as Wang Quan was going to fly towards the destination, he felt that far ahead was a gush of weak heat. When he looked over, all he saw was a ball of fire red light. Taking a closer look, you will be able to see a pair of huge flame wings released by Chen Shang. As expected, this fellow used this method. Ji Yudongshan shook his head and laughed. "Humph, his actions are suicidal." Wang Quan gave a low humph and disappeared. Chen Shang released his Zuke flame wings once he went out of the city. Now he had the ability to increase the size of the wing, but he didn't need to do so as it would make the wings less flexible and the energy consumption increases too. Although the speed will be faster, he still thinks that smaller will be more appropriate. Even so, his Zuke flame wings is now already 20 zhong wide. From afar it looks very scary and the heat emitted is able to make people feel uncomfortable. Chen Shang flapped his flame wings, and he instantly turned into a ball of fire red light and disappeared into the clouds above. His original speed was quicker than others, so there was a lot of people behind him, but they all got jealous in their hearts when they saw Chen Shang use that horrifying speed to fly in the air. "Hee, I'll make my move first. Make sure you guys don't lose to this foreigner." A cute and beautiful young girl wearing blue dress laughed, while behind her back appeared a pair of small light blue wings that looked like translucent butterfly wing, with a tint of faint color. The young girl flapped her pair of small wings and proceeds to enter the forest, shuttling through nimbly while giving out clear laughters and excited shouts. This girl was the one who questioned whether they could fly previously. Hearing that the girl's voice vanished, everyone knew that they were left very behind already. Now that they were outside of the city, they all used their fastest speed without any restraints to rush towards the destination. Some were like a raging bull, rampaging in the forest, knocking over a lot of trees. Although these people's speed was very fast, but in an instant many trees in the forest got knocked over. As Chen Shang was flying in the sky, he didn't know about the fierce competition below. Now he was the fastest. Every time his wings flapped it would allow him to traverse a huge distance. After gliding for a while he would flap his wings again like an eagle, looking very elegant and easy. "Feels good. When will those golden griffins come out? It is starting to get boring." Chen Shang laughed carefreely. "Hey, are you an idiot?" sounded a female's voice. This shocked Chen Shang a bit. Chen Shang turned his head only to discover that a young girl in blue dress appeared beside him. He still remembered this girl as she was the one who asked Wang Quan whether they could fly. The translucent wings behind the girl in blue dress is constantly flapping, unlike Chen Zhang's. Sometimes when her pair of small wings flaps it would release a faint blue aura, making it look very nice. You are the idiot. Chen Shang laughed. This girl was very cute, as he had a beautiful melon-like face, peach small mouth and a pair of big eyes shining with curiosity, looking at Chen Shang. Chen Shang saw that there is a faint trace of blue light in her eyes, but her eyes is black. Why did you call me an idiot? You are the idiot, flying so high up. The young girl stuck her tongue out. Seeing that cute-looking small tongue, Chen Shang had an impulse to reach and hold it. Chen Shang laughed. You are talking with me, an idiot. Doesn't that mean that your brain is also not right? You are also an idiot. You are an idiot amongst idiots, haha, you big idiot. The girl was unexpectedly not angry, she only gave a charming humph. I am only flying up here to warn you, but you don't even appreciate it. Chen Shang was startled for a second, laughing, hee hee, sorry. Many thanks lady, but who let you ask me whether I am an idiot the first thing you come up? The young girl laughed cutely. This is the first time someone called me lady, little guy, in sister's eyes you are nothing but a bird that just hatched. Chen Shang once again sized up this young girl, only to discover that other than unreasonably huge chest, she looked like a 14-15-year-old girl in every other aspect. Then big lady, how old are you this year? Don't you think it's an interesting hanging out with a bunch of kids? Sister is now 500 years old already, your master is very knowledgeable, didn't he tell you that in the king's continent exists an ancient tribe? The girl played with her hair tips while flying. Chen Shang immediately fell through his memories, and he quickly remembered that Huang Jintian once said, that there was a clan where people doesn't grow up in king's continent but needs to be conceived for 500 years, when it borns it will be a true warrior strength. Blue blood clan, if it wasn't for this young girl, he wouldn't have linked it together. Your master had once beat the blue blood clan's strongest person before. Therefore I must defeat you, don't belittle me, I also possess the king's bloodline and mine is a special bloodline. The young girl laughed. Relax, I'll have mercy on you then. Chen Xian suddenly remembered that in the leaderboard third-rank name, your name is Lanlin. I am the forever young Lanlin. Ever since I was born, lived for 25 years, I still look like a smelly kid, I will never be able to grow up anymore, said the young girl regretfully. Chen Shang thinks that this girl is very interesting, he smiled. Lanlin, the Dali clan is similar, you don't need to worry. Lanlin shook her head. No, our blue blood clan and Dali clan's freak are different, we are like normal people, when it is time to grow up we will grow up. Well I'll stop talking, I'll move ahead first. Lanlin stuck her tongue out towards Chen Shang, made a ghost face and rushed down, speeding up instantly throwing Chen Shang behind. Seeing Lanlin's speed, Chen Shang was shocked. This girl is also a freak. Furthermore she acts cute about it. Chen Shang said towards Long Shuiling. The Long Shuiling following him was also a super old person, acting like a girl is more deceptive than Lanlin. The sky was very dangerous, and Chen Shang is gonna find out soon, because he can detect a few very strong aura in front, furthermore it was all at extreme realm. Chapter 410, Fire Lightning Wings. Chapter 410, Fire Lightning Wings. Chen Shang flew so high to avoid being blocked by others, but he never thought that there would be people waiting in the sky for him. Are these guys waiting for me? How did they know that I will go pass here? Although Chen Shang felt suspicious but he wasn't worried. Just charge through them, they should be using talismans to communicate to allow them to prepare. Who asked you to have such an eye-catching pair of wings? If you were like the brat just now, it would be hard to discover you. Long Shuiling said. Chen Zhang's wings suddenly increased its size by onefold, allowing the wings to be more powerful, hence the speed increased. There was indeed 6 persons floating in the sky in front waiting for him. Chen Shang could tell that they used quite a bit of energy to allow their bodies to float from the aura they released. If they were to fight, they will definitely lose to Chen Shang, and their motive for being here was just to delay time, making Chen Shang slower than King's Continent disciples, finally making him lose the competition. As expected that Wang Quan cheated, all is good, I can let him know that Chen Shang isn't someone easy to bully. Chen Shang was slightly furious in his heart, his wings suddenly shone with a bright golden light, making him look like he turned into a golden eagle, only that the light given out is mixed with red and gold instead. This is what happened when Chen Shang merged fire true chi and metal true chi. He was very proficient in controlling the true chi within his body and very flexible in using it, so doing this merger wasn't very hard. Those 6 Extreme Realm warriors all had a bad feeling after seeing Chen Zhang's huge golden eagle wings. Chen Zhang's wings was very big, when stretched it can reach tens of zhong, looking very shocking. It makes people think that it was a Pacific huge bird, and those golden eagle wings looks like it contains a very horrifying power. "It's coming," said big guy with a dignified face. At this point, he wanted to run because he knew that the wings that are currently charging towards will surely bring about a very strong impact force. "Can't stop it, quick run," one person shouted. The distance between Chen Shang and them aren't very big, but seeing Chen Shang posture, they all knew that it won't be long before colliding with Chen Shang, and it looks like Chen Shang intentionally charged towards them. Chen Shang laughed loudly. "You guys don't have the chance anymore." Suddenly his pair of wings wreathed with soul-stirring electric glow, allowing his speed to increase multiple folds. "I'll bang you to death," shouted Chen Shang, showing off his golden wings that is filled with powerful electric snakes, and Chen Zhang's body leaks out waves of golden light, bringing about incredibly towering killing pressure, like an furious dragon with wings. In an instant, Chen Shang already went past where the 6 of them were at. While charging through there were a lot of heaven-shaking thunder cries along with those people's pitiful yells resounding throughout the area. Chen Shang was able to feel the 6th person getting hit by the horrifying wings. His wings had energy of metal, fire and lightning. When it exploded at the same time the strength was very big, adding on the speed of impact the strength will multiple higher. With Chen Zhang's impact, he didn't know what happened to those 6 people as he had gone far away from that place. He also didn't care whether those people lived or died as he did not attack at all. What he did was very normal, he was just charging through. Chen Shang is currently high up in the clouds, very far away from the ground. If people Extreme Realm fell from this height, the consequence would be very serious. They won't die but it would definitely result in serious injury. His wings once again restored his wings to vermilion bird fire wings. Although the speed was very fast just now, it also taxing to maintain, because he still didn't know how long he would need to fly to reach the destination, and there would definitely have more obstructions in front, so he had to save some energy for it. "It's that brat," Long Shuiling said. Chen Shang saw a young girl flying around the clouds, exuding strings of clear laughter, playing like a child. When she saw Chen Shang, she flew towards him and flew together. "I'm so bored, if your speed is faster, we could fly together to the destination." Lanlin pouted while saying, unexpectedly she was waiting for Chen Shang. Chen Shang laughed bitterly. "I had to defeat 6 people who were blocking me, haven't they blocked you?" Lanlin laughed. "Of course not, why would they block me?" Chen Shang felt more depressed. "That's it, your king's continent is blatantly bullying foreigners, aiming me purposely." "Who asked you to be so powerful, making us lose face? Of course we would aim you," Lanlin laughed. Chen Shang curled his lips. Although he knew that this was not fair, he did not care. Besides, this could be considered a test of his strength. To him this wasn't so bad at all. "Why were you waiting for me? Wouldn't it be over if you fly to destination first?" Chen Shang raised his head and looked at Lanlin who was flying above. This look could really kill, because he can see Lanlin in her chest that doesn't tally up with her appearance. Even through the blue dress, it still looked very big. This made him think of the legend about having a childish look and huge. "Brat, even though you look very small, but your chests are very big. Other would definitely not think that you are a little girl." Chen Shang was stunned when he heard this, because this was said by Long Shuiling. As Long Shuiling have not feigned his voice for pranks for a very long time, Chen Shang had already forgotten this naughty dragon's prank move. Lanlin's adorable small face turned red, her delicate eyebrows wrinkled and her face looked angry. "Chen Shang, you are a meanie." Chen Shang secretly scolded Long Shuiling as he hurriedly said, "Ahem, this is true. You need to know that when men look at women, most of them will see the chest first, don't you think so?" "Of course I know, you don't need to tell me." Lanlin gave a charming humph. "Can you let me rub it?" Long Shuiling once again mimicked Chen Zhang's voice and said, while Su Meiyao and Bai Yu were laughing in the ring. "Rub your head, you meanie, I am not going to talk to you anymore, hang." Lanlin sped up, flying away with a blush on her face. Long Shuiling laughed. "Can't even handle a bit of teasing." Chen Shang angrily said, "Little butt dragon, when you grow up you better pray that you won't have a big chest, if not I'll rub on it every day." It wasn't easy getting to know a chick in King's Continent, now it's all ruined. "Yeah, wasn't easy knowing a big chest brat, you're having bad thoughts aren't you? You already have your sis Munger and Shenxian's problem to solve. And both Shenxian and your Munger's chest are as big as this brat's one. Sis Meiyao and Sis Yuyu's are also quite big, you should have seen before, hee hee." Long Xueling laughed. Chen Shang thought about it, grinned. True, but this is troublesome, that brat will definitely hate me, perhaps during the sparring match she will not have mercy on me. Meanie, stop laughing, there are thousands of golden griffins in front. Quickly fly lower. Chen Shang suddenly heard Lanlan's voice travel to his ears. Chapter 411, Inferno in the Sky. Chapter 411, Inferno in the Sky. Chen Zhang's impression of this brat was pretty good, so he laughed and said, "Thank you, the reason why I flew so high up is to have a look the prowess of those golden griffins." "Humph, you big idiot. Whatever, I'll wait for you at the destination, you better not withdraw after this round, I have to have a fight with you at the end." Lanlan flew away very quickly, her speed was indeed very horrifying. Chen Shang was only able to fly faster when he allowed his wings to grow bigger. That was the vermilion bird flame wings' true form. When activating it, his body will release flames, transforming into a shape of a huge bird, and from the ground it will look like a huge flame bird. Knowing that there was golden griffins in front, Chen Shang grew agitated. From Wu Kaming, he knew that Spirit Hall was most proud of their golden griffins. Many people tried to borrow it from Spirit Hall 10,000 years ago for the Three Great Realm War but were rejected. Even disciples aren't allowed to bring them to fight either. Not only did Chen Shang want to meet those golden griffins, he also let those golden griffins experience some pain. Because he wasn't happy with what Wang Quan did, sending people to stop him, he believed that other King's Continent warriors did not meet any obstacles on their way, only he met them. Golden griffins, I'll now let you know the vermilion bird's strength. Chen Shang laughed, and his heart filled with anticipation. Chen Shang was on alert as he fly, but he still haven't seen any golden griffins after flying tens of do, but he was still waiting very patiently. TL note. I have no idea what they meant by do, so yeah. The clouds in front, watch out, Long Xueling warned. In front of Chen Shang was a huge cloud pillar soaring into the sky. Upon having a closer look, Chen Xiang could see that there were small dots in the clouds, and those dots were actually golden griffins circling around it, creating a huge air vortex, sucking all the clouds in it, exposing Chen Shang to the blue skies and leaving him with nowhere to hide. So many. Chen Shang looked at the gigantic cloud pillar and he can't help but exclaim in his heart. These golden griffins are definitely being controlled by someone. That person should be riding on the golden griffins, and it should be more than one person. Long Xueling said. Chen Shang flew straight, and those small dots in the huge cloud pillar also gathered together. From afar it looks like a flock of birds, but Chen Shang was very sure that those are a bunch of true martial realm 9th stage spirit beast, golden griffins. Golden griffin, S feather were very hard, its wings can be used as a sharp knife, and their mouth can even spit out fire. Its flying speed was very fast, along with their sharp claws and beaks, it is able to cause huge threat to humans. Chen Shang was in extreme realm. If he were to fight independently he wouldn't choose these 9th stage spirit realm beast, but now he wasn't fighting one, he was fighting thousands. If all of them were to come at him at one, even him will have a hard time. TL notes. Sounds weird I know, but it just means that if he wouldn't choose to fight 9th stage true martial realm as it was too easy. The golden griffins from afar approaches quickly. Chen Zhang's wings also becomes more and more bigger, becoming hundreds of zhang in a blink of an eye. Chen Shang unceasingly released the vermilion bird true qi within his body. The 1000 true element dan that contains vigorous true qi gushes out. Chen Zhang's wings continuously expands, burning with fierce flames, forming a sea of flames. When Lanlan saw the huge wings she was shocked till her jaws dropped, exclaiming, "This meanie is so strong, what is he planning to do?" Almost, Chen Shang said with a slight sigh of relief. He stretched his huge wings that is already thousands of zhang wide. When he flapped it, the wind generated was imaginable. Those warriors riding the golden griffins slowed down after seeing. They knew that Chen Shang wanted to resist them. Seeing the magnificent pair of huge flame wings, feeling the incomparably scalding hot air wave, they were considering whether they wanted to continue on. A total of 8 people riding the golden griffins, and their strengths are all at extreme realm, each bringing 1000 golden griffins and flying towards Chen Shang. No need to be afraid, we have 8000 golden griffins, no matter how strong he is, he will be surrounded by golden griffins, just waste him. A male shouted. When Chen Shang heard this, he was furious in his heart and immediately he roars. Inferno tornado. Chen Shang suddenly spins, and his wings followed suit. Firstly, it was waves of intense heat spreading all around. Following it was a strong suction force. Some big trees and stones got uprooted and attracted under the suction force. With Chen Shang spinning, it forms a huge flaming tornado reaching up to a few thousand zhangs wide. The scene was shocking and horrifying, similar to the end of world. Clouds from all sides are being attracted over, making the clouds very thick, and when they bump into each other, it erupts crazy lightnings, and those lightnings were also being attracted into Chen Zhang's tornado. Originally those golden griffins are charging at Chen Shang, but now it was too late. When they tried to run away from the scary fire lightning tornado, it was already too late. The tornado was too huge, thus causing a very strong suction force. Those golden griffins are like ant in front of this huge tornado. In a short amount of time, they were all inside the huge tornado that contains intense heat and crazy thunder. This guy is too perverse, I almost got implicated. Lanlin gasped for mouthful of breaths. Those voluptuous chests continuously rise and fall, as she looked at the huge fire lightning tornado filled with destruction with lingering fear. Those nearby all saw it, and most of them are competing warriors. They all heard the lighting sound, but there is a familiar sound mixed in it. It was the wails of thousands of golden griffins. Chen Shang was madly laughing while spinning. Furthermore, he was constantly releasing wood-attributed lightning chi, making the lightning more crazy. The inside of this huge tornado became a purgatory. People inside it cannot resist at all. The only thing they can do is to receive punishment. This was Chen Zhang's Inferno Tornado. Last time he used this move to fight the Devil Dao warriors, but back then his strength was still weak, so the tornado was very small. Compared to before, the current tornado was bigger by few hundred folds. The huge tornadoes surrounding hills and lush forests was all sucked into the tornado. Lanlin personally saw a mountain, thousands of Zhongtal slowly getting sucked into the tornado, finally totally vanishing into the tornado. In the tornado is the tyrannical heavenly sun, fire and crazy lightning. When fused together, its might was incomparable. Haha. Haha, haha, I thought that a group of golden griffins were very powerful, turns out it was only mediocre. Haha. Chen Zhang's mad laughter was similar to a devil, reverberating in all direction. When people heard it, they were absolutely terrified. Chapter 412. Unending Obstacles. Chapter 412. Unending Obstacles. Chen Shang spun unceasingly. The large tornado looks like it won't stop, madly extracting everything from the ground. Wherever it went, it turns the area into a flat land. Those golden griffins that got sucked into the tornado will collide with either a huge rock or another golden griffin, while being baked by the heat and struck by the lightning. Those few people were also the same, but they didn't die immediately, only physically devastated. The golden griffins and the few extreme realm warriors are only at beginner stage of spirit martial realm. Their strength are far below Chen Shang, so it was very difficult for them to escape Chen Zhang's domineering techniques. Furthermore, they were now heavily injured. When Chen Shang felt that he was only left with half of Vermilion Bird Chi and Azure Dragon Chi, he quickly stopped his skill, only to see those golden griffins and few people dropping, thousands of golden griffins wailing in low voices and falling heavily to the ground, leaving a lot heavy casualties. Chen Shang breathed a sigh of relief, and the wings behind his back turned small again. He found his direction, flapped his wings, flew up to the sky and continued towards the destination. Wang Quan came when Chen Shang just left not long ago. He rushed here immediately after receiving an emergency notification saying that there were very heavy casualty here. Seeing the group of unconscious golden griffins on the ground, and listening to these weak cries, veins popped out from Wang Quan's fist. Old Wang, as I have said before, don't belittle him. It was you who originally planned to use the golden griffins to stop him, so his counterattack was very normal. You can only say that you brought this upon yourself. I advise you to better not use dirty moves. If you make him mad, it might cause deaths. Ji Yu Dongchen said. Wang Quan gasped for breath, suppressing his anger as it slowly disappears. He gave a cold humph. This was part of the rules, I didn't stop him on purpose. Seeing Wang Quan, Ji Yu Dongchen followed behind as he was afraid that Wang Quan would attack Chen Shang. There is only death of spirit beasts now. If you were to stop him again, the next death would be some people. Ji Yu Dongchen sighed and said, those who were riding on the golden griffins didn't die, but they were very heavily injured. From the start, those who tried to stop Chen Shang all died, except for those few just now who had heavy injuries. Wang Quan didn't want to stop Chen Shang, all he wanted is to delay Chen Shang, but he didn't know that Chen Shang had such a strong killing skill. Even thousands of golden griffins can't do anything, instead they got suppressed by Chen Shang. Chen Shang is blowing whistle while soaring in the sky. At this point his mood was very good because he knew that the deaths of those golden griffins would bleed Spirit Hall. Furthermore, this was all because they asked for it. His mother, if someone tries to stop me again, I will personally attack them. Chen Shang suddenly very look forward to meeting people sent by Spirit Hall. Hey, your move just now was very powerful, but the consumption is very high. It is only suitable for people who are weaker than you. If it was used against me, it would be useless. Lanlin came again from the top of Chen Shang. Brat, why do you always follow me? I am a big meanie. Is it because I'm too handsome? Chen Shang happily said with a smile. Pay, you narcissistic guy, I was only bored. I don't know how long I would still need to fly. This competition was too boring. There is also nothing to relieve my boredom. Lanlin gently sighed. Why don't you go find your King's Continent warriors? Why did you find me? Chen Shang also don't understand why he was targeted by this brat. They are too slow, and you are the only one that flies. The others are all running, totally unable to talk to at all. Lanlin said. Forget it, I better fly faster and reach the destination as soon as possible, so bored. Lanlin's speed made Chen Shang jealous, and she seemed like she was flying with ease. He could only sigh as he still didn't know how many more things would be waiting for him on the road. He guessed that his competition was held because of him, because he had the powerful dragon force. If it was a face-to-face fight, Wang Quan had no confidence in his disciples at all. For Chen Shang to lose, this was the only method to eliminate him. Thinking to this point, Chen Shang was furious. This was also the reason why he purposely didn't hide himself, was to allow those waiting in ambush to discover him. This way he could heavily injure them as a way to relieve his dissatisfaction in his heart. 2 days passed. In the middle of the night, Chen Shang suddenly saw a beam of light shooting from the ground to the sky. Just as he felt odd, he sensed a very strong pressure, making him stop immediately. Chen Shang flapped his wings, allowing his heavy body to land on the ground. He found out what the beam of white light was. It was a formation that creates pressure. If it wasn't for his quick reaction, he would most likely crashed fiercely. This was a big formation. In order to eliminate you, the Spirit Hall has spent quite a lot. Su Meiyao said. Chen Shang roared. He used a palm with dragon force on the ground, only to see to the circumference of several miles split open. The ground starts to shake crazily, and the forest was immediately ruined. There's people, watch out! Su Meiyao abruptly shouted. Chen Shang already sensed those people's aura. It was 4-person and all of them are at extreme realm. That formation along with the ground had already been destroyed, so the pressure was also gone, but Chen Shang didn't choose to fly but to confront the 4-person walking towards him. In the darkness, 4 people in black suddenly appeared around Chen Shang. Seeing Chen Zhang's natural face, as if he was waiting for them, their hearts all felt very shocked. After they appeared, they raised their hand without any second words and a strange energy spout out from their palms. In a blink of an eye, appeared a complicated spirit pattern formation under Chen Zhang's feet. Once the formation appeared, Chen Zhang's complexion changed drastically because he can't use true qi. The worst thing is that his body cannot move too. Seeing Chen Zhang's complexion, those 4 men in black looked very haughty. Chen Shang quickly calmed down. He coldly laughed. Aren't you guys gonna attack? We are only responsible to hold you down. The person to attack you will come shortly after. A person coldly said. Chen Shang wrinkled his brows, feeling hateful in his heart. Both his feet are now closely attracted to the ground and unable to move at all. Furthermore, he could not use true qi. If someone were to come, he would be in a dangerous situation. It seems like this big formation is laid down by you, but it was easily broken by me. Chen Shang was unexpectedly calm now, and this made the 4 men in black feel worried. However, when it comes to this formation where they collaborated, they were still quite confident. Furthermore, the person that is coming to deal with Chen Shang is also reaching soon. When the time comes, it would be Chen Zhang's turn to be heavily injured. Chen Shang could not use true qi or move, but his mouth can still move, so his magic powers can be used. This way, he could display his divine sense, and use magic to gather strength using qi of heaven and earth to attack. Chapter 413, Grasping Soul Talisman. Chapter 413, Grasping Soul Talisman. Chen Shang realized that the 4-person setting up the formation could not simply move, because if they moved, it would affect the formation, otherwise the 4-person would have already attacked Chen Shang. Ideographic period. Seeing this point, Chen Shang was secretly delighted in his heart, because if he is able to disturb them, this formation will break, and then he would be able to use true qi again. You underestimate our big formation. Even if you break the ground, the formation will still exist. The main crux of the formation still exists. You only destroyed a small formation, said a guy in black. Chen Shang laughed. Even at this situation he was able to laugh. This made the 4 men in black instantly on alert. But no matter how much they think they can't understand how Chen Shang would escape this formation, Furthermore, there was someone coming over to beat Chen Shang. As long as that person reaches first, it will spell doom for Chen Shang. Chen Shang was already able to detect the person running over. That person was also Spirit Martial Realm beginning stage. Divine Martial Palace wouldn't dare to use cultivators of high cultivation, otherwise it would be too much. That is why they spent so much effort to set up formation and use golden griffins to block Chen Shang. The transformations in 72 transformation technique not only allow user to transform themselves but also use spiritual energy to create something from nothing, like Chen Zhang's illusionary brilliant furnace, was also one of the transformation techniques, just that he isn't proficient in it. After that, he went to ask Long Shui for advice to understand this transformation technique better. He already grasped the main point and now he only need to display it. The spiritual energy the cultivated from Shinto was colorless and shapeless. Only those with strong divine sense was able to sense this kind of energy. Even deans like Ji Yu Dongchen was currently unable to sense it. Chen Shang released his spiritual strength, and chants the incantation, controlling the released spiritual strength to flow to the back of those men in black. This moment their complexion changed because they discovered that behind the back of their teammates congealed a glowing short sword. This was Chen Zhang's display of his 72 transformation, creating something from nothing. Those short swords was made with spiritual strength by condensing spirit chi from heaven and earth, and its might is not small. Normal warrior can also use true chi to congeal this kind of energy sword, but they need to use their own true chi and their area of control is also very small. But Chen Shang doesn't need it. He is able to congeal this energy weapon as long as it is in his sight. You underestimated me. Chen Shang laughed loudly. Those 4 short swords under his divine sense, fiercely shot forward, penetrating the 4 persons' back, and then explodes, making a bloody hole on the back of those 4 person. The formation binding Chen Shang was also gone. Chen Shang once again controlled his thick true chi, only to see him explode loudly. The true chi within his body gushed out. Under his control, it became very vigorous, and explodes from his body, forming waves of very strong and filled destructive force chi wave, sending those 4 men in black flying. Ideographic period. Those 4 men in black was already injured from the piercing and explosion of the energy short sword, adding in the explosion of true chi from Chen Shang, all their meridians were broken and they fainted on the spot. Chen Shang looked at the black-clothed persons lying on the ground, coldly humped and jumped to the sky. Just when he was going to release his vermilion bird fire wings, he was pressured by a strong energy, making he fall to crash into the ground. Darn, that formation is still there. Chen Shang felt the person coming closer, although the speed of the person was slower. As the person gets closer, Chen Shang felt more and more dangerous. Therefore he wanted to quickly run away. If he tangled with that person, it would delay a lot of time. If Divine Martial Palace was able to delay him, it would make him fall behind significantly, that way he would be eliminated. Should be a blood warrior. His true chi is different of others. Oath true chi and body needs to be stronger than average. I think it should be because of the blood in his body, but I have never heard of this kind of clan. Dali clan is different from them. Herculean clan from ancient time where it was because of a special breeding method. This human king clan is stronger than the Herculean clan. Their bloodlines are definitely not simple. Long Shui said. Chen Shang released the water vine, coiled around the 4 fainted person in black. He quickly brought them to him, and used the grasping soul devil curse taught by Bai Yu to search their memory in hopes to break the formation. Very quickly, he found it. At this moment he was very shocked by Divine Martial Palace's handiwork. This formation was completed on a large stone plate, and the stone plate was deep underground where they were at. Movable formation. This formation's cost is not cheap. The cost for the formation plate is very high, and there is a need to put a lot of cornerstones, usually a lot of top-grade crystal stones and items with a lot of energy is needed. If this formation plate was destroyed, Divine Martial Palace would probably cry. Su Meiyao laughingly said. Usually when you lay down formations, it would always be on the ground, but this formation that could stop Chen Shang from flying in the sky is a type where it would be laid down on a big stone plate to move it. The formation energy given out from the stone plate can cover a lot of ground, and only rich sects could afford this kind of formation. Chen Shang got a lot of information from those 4 people's memory and it is all about laying formations, but having these memories doesn't mean that he could instantly lay down formations, but these were all precious experiences. He suddenly found out that grasping soul devil curse was very strong. In this way, he was able to quickly learn a lot of things. A lot of formation techniques were now in his memory, so he decided try it out next time. Next he continued to use grasping soul devil curse to search those 4 men's memory for formations. There was a lot of information, it's like his head was going to explode. If not for his formidable spirit, he would be unable to contain all these memories. Although his head hurts, his face was filled with happiness. He knew that those 4 people was a decent formation master, but now all their knowledge on formation is shared with Chen Shang. Quickly destroy the formation. That guy is coming, Long Shui said. Chen Shang nodded his head, and fly towards one direction. He now knew where the formation plate is at, and he planned to lure the Blood Warrior and use the formation against that Blood Warrior. From the memory of the 4-person in black, he knew that the formation plate has great use. Not only can it be used to prevent people from flying in the sky, it has also great defensive and offensive energy. That formation plate was originally protecting a herb garden in Divine Martial Palace. Wang Quan wanted to increase the chance of winning against Chen Shang, so he temporarily used it against him. Magic changed to spiritual strength. Dali clan changed to Herculean clan. Long Shuiling was the wrong name, it was actually Long Shui. Chapter 414, Confrontation in the Night. Chen Shang very quickly reached the area with the formation plate. Only after he destroyed the formation plate below will he be able to fly away and avoid a fight with the Blood Warrior. Hee, who asked you to go against me? This is the price you will have to pay. Chen Zhang's palm slowly surfaced a white layer of light. Along with the appearance of that light, the ground started to crazily shake. Chen Shang gave a loud shout, palm facing the ground, and used dragon force to cast heaven's shaking palm. Its might was predictable, that powerful and enormous energy once again swept through the ground, and the land once again got turned over by Chen Shang. And the formation plate beneath him also got hit by the heaven's shaking palm till it became dust. This time Divine Martial Palace is going to bleed. Chen Shang laughed, and jumped to the sky, released his vermilion bird fire wings. The pair of wings that are burning with fierce flames were very eye-catching in the dark sky, lighting the black night sky. Just as Chen Shang flapped his wings, a loud shout was heard from the ground. Stop! Chen Shang didn't bother about that person and flew away as if nothing happened. That was the Blood Warrior from Divine Martial Palace. Although Chen Shang wanted to fight with that person, but he is rushing for time. If he was slow, he would be eliminated, and he doesn't want to be eliminated in this kind of competition. Ideographic period. Watch the blade. The rapidly flying Chen Shang was shocked, because in front of him was a middle-aged man standing there. This middle-aged guy was standing on a hexagon-shaped flying disc, with a golden blade on his hands, and slashed towards Chen Shang, and blade shined brightly and countless blade shadows erupts from the blade. Chen Shang couldn't understand why this person suddenly appeared in front of him. Luckily his reaction was quick, and quickly kept the vermilion bird fire wings, allowing him to fall down abruptly to dodge the blade shadows. Bastard, you actually used weapons, then don't blame me for not being polite. Ever since Chen Shang reached the extreme realm, he rarely had any chance to use Azure Dragon Slaughtering Devil Blade to fight. Seeing that the enemy used weapon, he definitely wouldn't have mercy. Chen Shang willed, and the Azure Dragon Slaughtering Devil Blade appeared in his hands. At this point, he was already on the ground. I originally didn't want to play with you, but since you wanted me dead so much, I don't care anymore. Chen Shang already didn't care about the competition anymore. He only wanted to vent out the anger in his heart through his body's fierce energy. Long Shui said. The disc under his legs is not simple, it is able to conceal the user's aura. That person wielding the golden blade appeared before Chen Shang, and said to Chen Shang indifferently, I heard that your blade is very strong, but it turns out to be average. Chen Zhang's brows congealed, only to see his blade slightly move, but the ground suddenly surfaced a thread-like crack, passing through directly the crotch of the middle-aged guy. That middle-aged person's complexion changed, although Chen Zhang's blade only slightly moved, but it was actually a slash, only because the speed was too fast, so fast that people could not see him slash with his blade at all. Middle-aged guy was still standing at the hexagon-shaped flying disc, but he felt that the hexagon-shaped flying disc was already destroyed the moment Chen Shang waved his blade. Chen Zhang's blade was not fast, but the power released was very unique. It was because he used universal true qi. Through his precise control and Tai Chi subduing dragon divine arts, it allows the Azure Dragon Slaughtering Devil Blade to chop out a thin blade strength, passing through the ground and directly chop the middle-aged guy's hexagon-shaped flying disc beneath his feet. The toy beneath you must be expensive. Chen Shang laughed. His words had already enraged the middle-aged man. The middle-aged man roared, waved his sword and darts toward Chen Shang. His sword techniques were very ferocious. Strings of beautiful chops were completed in a breath of time, and Chen Shang could only block them. This person's blade is also not simple. Chen Shang had used a lot of energy in blocking, but it didn't ruin the opponent's blade as he had expected. Chen Shang found out something weird after blocking several times. It was that before the Azure Dragon Slaughtering Devil Blade even touched the opponent's golden blade, it would be blocked by a strange shaking energy. The opponent's attack speed was very fast, and Chen Shang was only able to block, but the shaking energy would always shake his hands until it was numb. He told this to Su Meiyao and Bai Yuyu. Bai Yuyu then said, "His blade has other people's energy. The blade should be covered in a special energy made from Wang Quan's true qi. That's why it was so hard. Furthermore, it also has Wang Quan's Nirvana realm energy." Quote. Chen Shang finally understood why the blade was so scary. Furthermore, the person wielding it was a blood warrior. Previously in the points competition, Chu Sheng did not use true qi, so he was unable to learn about blood warrior's strength, and the middle-aged man in front of him was a true qi-based blood warrior. Chen Shang felt that both blood warrior and Herculean clan are the same. They were able to turn the true qi in their body into a special energy, fuses with their fleshly body, allowing their strength to mix, and then burst forward, forming a very strong and domineering energy. Lightning true qi. Chen Shang determined the opponent's original true qi. This middle-aged man hid it very well, and when he used true qi, it would turn into another type of explosive energy, making it hard to determine. Under the night sky, the ground was full of holes, blade light shining, and Chen Shang was only blocking, not even counter-attacking. This made the middle-aged guy suspicious because he knew that Chen Zhang's strength wasn't at this level. The middle-aged man chopped, but this time Chen Shang did not block. Just when the golden blade slash is going to hit Chen Shang in the waist, he was shocked because Wang Quan had said that he could not kill Chen Shang, or else the consequence will be very serious. Just when the golden blade slash was going to hit Chen Zhang's waist, he saw Chen Shang explode into mist. Chen Shang used water mirror skill, using water to make an illusion, while he himself used his fastest speed to leave the place. Just as the middle-aged guy was shocked, many water jar-like thick water vines appeared from the ground and holds the middle-aged guy. He has completely used the black tortoise true qi. "I don't have time to waste with you." Chen Shang slowly walked away, while slashing towards the middle-aged guy's golden blade. The Azure Dragon Slaughtering Devil Blade roared like from an angry dragon, shining with eye-piercing azure light, breaking the golden blade. The golden blade without the middle-aged guy's energy turned very weak, as such it was easily cut down by the Azure Dragon Slaughtering Devil Blade. "What do you want to do?" The middle-aged man didn't expect Chen Zhang's water vines were this strong, but during his struggle, the water vines were already showing signs of breaking. He only hated himself for being weak. If he didn't spend so much energy fighting before, he would have easily struggled free from the water vines. Now he understood why Chen Shang only blocked. It was all to waste his energy. Chen Shang laughed sinisterly. He backed up and his lips moved, chanting a weird curse. The middle-aged man saw the clouds surge, lightning roaring, the spirit qi from surrounding hundreds of li madly rushing towards here. Heavenly Dragon Seal. Chen Zhang's eyes twinkled, and the sky sounded out a dragon shout, and a golden huge dragon claw dropped down from the sky, hitting the middle-aged guy that was restricted by the water vine. That instant, golden lights explodes, shining the sky bright, and the ground appeared a very huge hole. Those dirt that was blasted up to the sky fell down like rain. The middle-aged man was covered in dirt as he was in the hole. He slowly wriggled his body, wailing. And Chen Shang already released the vermilion bird fire wings, flying in the night sky. Chapter 415, Endpoint. Chapter 415, Endpoint. The sky brightens, seeing the distant sun rise. Chen Shang felt elated. He didn't know about others, but he knew that it wasn't easy for him. He had went through ups and downs to arrive here. At this point he was already very near the end point. Although he was delayed, he still thinks that he was the faster one. He estimated that he would at least be able to enter top 10. Originally he believed that he could get first, but seeing that young girl Lanlan's horrifying speed, he knew that he was too proud. This king's continent had quite a lot of young strong warriors. He could guarantee that those in the top 50 in the points competition would have decent speed. If they did not get obstructed, they might have overtook him. Thinking until here, Chen Shang was furious. It was all because of Wang Quan's delay his time by planning a lot of ambush. Of course, thinking that on his way here, he also made Divine Martial Palace a lot of losses. He was secretly happy in his heart, because he can get to see Wang Quan's angry yet helpless face. The biggest reward this trip was that he got the 4 Formation Master's memories. Those memories are very precious. Through grasping Soul Devil Curse, Chen Shang was able to imprint it in his own memory. After simple absorption, it would become his. Others would need a lot of time to accumulate all those rich formation experience, but Chen Shang could do it in a while. It wasn't that formation masters were not a good option, it is just that it would take a lot of resources, especially during learning phase. Furthermore, there is also some danger of formation exploding if there was a slight mistake during the setting up of formation or any other actions that is dangerous. Chen Shang have heard that there was quite a lot of people who died when setting up the formation. As long as he could efficiently use those precious memories, he could be a formation master in the near future. Furthermore, he had the Refiner's Scroll. The spirit patterns in the Refiner's Scroll were all regarded as treasures in the eyes of Lu Menger. After absorbing the memories of the 4 people, he had a solid foundation. Now he only need to spend some time in this aspect again. After being skilled in formations, will he be able to start refining weapons. Chen Shang was soaring above the clouds. Although he had a pair of huge fire wings, he had the clouds as cover, so the people below couldn't see him, but with his strong divine sense, he was able to clearly observe the ground. On his way he found out 20+ person going all out dashing. Their speed was very fast. Chen Shang guessed that they was continuously flying, not even stopping once. Based on his calculation, even if they were running with that speed, it would be impossible to take 10+ days to rush here. He guessed that there was definitely some trickery here. Maybe Wang Quan helped these disciples to cheat. Since the distance is very big, Ji Yudongchen and Wu Keiming would definitely not know what happened. There was a lot of people in Divine Martial Palace. Helping those disciples to cheat wasn't hard. Even though this was the case, Chen Shang was still able to overtake these 20 individuals. As he accelerates his speed, he discovered more participating martial warriors. This competition eliminates 30 people. Now that there are 30 people behind me, if nothing unexpected happens, I would be able to pass this round. Chen Shang relaxed slightly. If he was eliminated because of Divine Martial Palace's tampering, he would be angry for a very long time. Just thinking about this did not make him feel good. 3 days passed. Chen Shang once again caught up on a few more people, and the ending point was just in front. It was a very tall summit, and the summit had flat ground, and on it is a very big bronze bell. As long as he sounds the bell, it will be counted as reaching the end point. Although Chen Shang could see, but there was still some distance, that summit was very high, directly piercing through the clouds. If it was running from the ground, it would take very long to climb up to the summit. Full speed ahead. Chen Shang was worried that there would be unexpected accidents at the last moment, so he used up all his true chi to fly, only to see his vermilion bird fire wings suddenly increased in size, and both his feet were shooting out azure true chi. This was the Azure Dragon True Chi's wind energy. There would also be occasional violent thunder, increasing the explosive force, not to mention his speed. There were some people sandong on the summit. From afar they saw Chen Shang flapping the majestic fire wings, and his feet shooting out Azure Dragon Chi balls while flying. It made everyone's countenance change, because these kind of speed and impact force was very shocking. While Chen Shang is flying over, he was banging the air, producing bursts of explosion. Originally the distance between him and the summit was still very far, but under his full speed dash, his speed had increased multiple folds, making him look like a flash of light, dragging the green-red light, shooting straight for the summit. Chen Shang did a flip in the air, and beautifully landed on the summit's flat ground, quickly walked to the bell and rang it. Hearing the bell resounded through heaven and earth, Chen Shang gave out a long sigh of relief. After the resounding bell sound vanished, did they hear an elder shout, "Chen Shang, position 15th. Lanlin came beside Chen Shang, said lightly, 15th, you are so slow. Chen Shang laughed. Brat, if you were blocked by a few Nirvana Realm warriors at the start, then surrounded and attacked by tens of thousands of golden griffins, and then your true chi suppressed by 4 formation masters, and finally a blood warrior wielding a brilliant weapon to attack you, can you be this fast? Luckily those guys are trash. Those Nirvana Realm warriors have already been finished by me. Those tens of thousands of golden griffins should be either dead or seriously injured. As for those 4 formation masters, haha, they were also stabbed by me, their meridians broken too. That idiot blood warrior who uses the brilliant weapon got his weapon broken, and beaten heavily. Although there are a lot of obstacles, they were all useless." Quote. While Chen Shang was talking, he was looking at Wang Quan. Wang Quan's complexion was not looking good. Ji Yudongchen and Wu Keiming's complexion were equally bad, because when they were waiting there, those who arrived early all said that there were actually no obstacles blocking them, and they came here easily. But Chen Shang continuously met with obstacles. Furthermore, it was targeted at him. There was even a blood warrior wielding a treasured sword to attack Chen Shang. It's unavoidable, Chen Shang. You are a guest of King's Continent, of course we have to take special care of you, but you did very well, and returned the favor, a big favor. Lian Yingxiao laughed and said, Divine Martial Palace tried to steal a chicken with rice but lose everything instead. They lost a lot of warriors. Ideographic period. Chen Shang was from Chenwu mainland, and several big shots from Chenwu mainland were waiting here for him. Hua Shangyu smiled. King's continent is so hospitable, but you guys lost too much face. You can't even stop a kid with so many people, but still allowed him to get placed 15th, successfully passed. Wang Quan, don't you think your method is very disgusting? If you don't like Chen Shang participating in the King's martial competition, you only need to say and I guarantee that he will withdraw. Is it necessary to use despicable means? Tell you what, don't think that because you are the highest person in power in King's continent that I will be afraid. If there is a next time, Lu Menger will definitely fight it out with you. Lu Menger's angry sentence carried a chill that lingers on the whole summit. This tall mountain was instantly covered in thick frost. That peculiar cold energy makes people have the urge to kneel down and worship. The whole summit was dead silence. Wang Quan frowned, and removes the strange coldness in his body. A lot of people couldn't understand why Lu Menger was this mad. Chapter 416, Big Gift. Chapter 416, Big Gift. Ji Yu Dongchen and Lian Yingxiao looked at each other. They knew the relationship between Chen Shang and Lu Menger, they just didn't know it was so deep that it could make this empress so mad. As for Wu Caming and other big shots, they only thought that Lu Menger was angry for his disciple's husband. Wang Quan, you might not know. This brat is an honorary chief alchemist of our Danxiang Taoyuan, he is the guest of Danxiang Taoyuan. Hua Shangyu laughed coldly. Now Divine Martial Palace knows that Chen Shang not only had Ji Yu Dongchen, Wu Caming and Huang Jintian as his backing, he also had these two powerful ladies. Wang Quan's brows were already covered in frost. He took a deep breath. He knew that Lu Menger had crossed the Nirvana 7th tribulation, and she cultivates cold wind divine exercise, which is very formidable. Of course, Lu Menger's parents were the previous era's characters, not even Huang Jintian dared to fight them. Although Lu Menger said that her parents have already ascended to heaven realm, no one know whether they left behind many influence and befriended hidden strong warriors when they ascended. If they were to band together with Divine Weapon Heavenly Empire, Divine Martial Palace naturally wouldn't be scared, but they must consider the lost. I didn't aim him, just that. Just that people of Divine Martial Palace have heard of his name before, and they all wanted to spar with him. Wang Quan haven't even finished speaking and Ji Yu Dongchen interrupted. But is this fair for him? This is you dereliction of duty, are you going to just leave it like this? Wang Quan frowned. Ji Yu Dongchen wanted him to apologize to Chen Shang, but he was the highest person in power in this king's continent, Divine Martial Palace's palace master. How could he personally apologize to the ant like Chen Shang? It wasn't because of the dereliction of duty of our Divine Martial Palace, it is just that Chen Shang passed by the ambush locations by chance, that's why the ambusher attacked. Wang Quan said coldly. That's not the reason. Suddenly, a timid voice sounded, although it was soft, everyone basically heard it. They all looked at the same place at the same time, only to find out the person who spoke was beautiful young girl wearing blue dress. When her pair of cute eyes rotated, it even has blue lights. The big shots waiting here all knew that this young girl was the first to reach the end, but none of them have any knowledge of her. Lanlin, seeing that everyone was looking at her, stuck out her tongue, and said softly, earlier when I was on my way, I met those keys too, but they didn't block me. The guys riding the lion even asked me to go further away. Chen Shang can't help it but to laugh, but his heart was feeling weird. He always thought that Lanlin was part of Divine Martial Palace, but from the looks of it, she wasn't, otherwise saying these things would be equal to giving Wang Quan a tight slap in the face. Brat, you! Wang Quan glared at Lanlin, only to see Lanlin make faces at him, her face not containing any trace of fear. This made the crowd instantly like the young girl in blue dress, and they knew that this Lanlin is also not simple, otherwise it would be impossible to fly to the end point so quickly. Furthermore, she is unafraid of Wang Quan. Although she speaks very softly and looks very timid, her face had fearless written over her whole face. What I said is true. I have also seen that Golden Blade Bear. That stupid bear even told me his plan, saying something about using a very powerful group formation to imprison this naughty Chen Shang, making him unable to use true chi or move, and the Golden Blade Bear's mission is to cut off both of Chen Zhang's arms. Lanlin said angrily when she saw Wang Quan being mad at her. Hearing Lanlin call Chen Shang naughty, Lu Menger and Hua Shangyu rolled their eyes at Chen Shang, and Chen Shang was so embarrassed that he can't even raise his head up. He didn't think that Lanlin, this girl who looked timid, would dare to say so much details. Lan brat you, Wang Quan was breathless. He raised his hands, but had to put it down, as there was a lot of people watching. Furthermore, what Lanlin said was also true. Wang Quan previously insisted that he didn't aim Chen Xiong, but after Lanlin this King's Continent warrior testified, this was simply pushing him to the abyss. Don't think that I'm scared of you because my grandfather died. Our Lan family isn't as simple as you think. If necessary, our Lan family can destroy your divine martial palace anytime. Seeing that Wang Quan wanted to hit her, she was very angry and said tenderly. Wang Quan gave a cold humph, jumped and flew away. If not, Ji Dongchen might force him to apologize to Chen Xiong. This moment, and elderly said, there is still one more challenge. After clearing the next challenge, it would be martial arts competition last. Now you have 3 days of rest. After 3 days, the next challenge will start. Chen Xiong, you better withdraw. Hua Xiong, you said. I have already reached this point. If I give up now, wouldn't my suffering previously be for nothing? Chen Xiong smiled lightly. If it wasn't for the fruit of fortune as reward, he would have quitted long ago. But he was confident in himself. Moreover, the gap between now and the final martial arts competition were also not big. He would be able to get the heavenly grade pill and the fruit of fortune quickly. Hua Xiong, you can also see that Chen Xiong came for the fruit of fortune. If it wasn't for her Danxiang Taoyuan disciple being incompetent, she will also make her disciples come and compete. Ideographic period. Elder Ding, your divine martial palace should be more sincere. Although divine martial palace has the most influence in King's Continent, you shall know that it is only on the surface. Our Wu village and Blue Blood clan is only disinclined to care about worldly affairs. If you guys do things too far, we will do the necessary move in order to avoid you throwing the King clan's honor. Wu Kaming said. Chen Xiong now know that there is still other powerful influences in King's Continent. The Wu Kanghong that Chen Xiong previously met should be Wu Kaiming's old ancestor. Elder Ding nodded. I will speak with the palace master. He truly overdid it this time. Wang Quan's disastrous defeat by Huang Jintian was known by many. Everyone suspected that Wang Quan wanted to get revenge because of the matters in the past, so he intentionally made things difficult for Chen Xiong. There was a lot of houses on the summit, but due to the temperature being low and Lu Menger's ice true chi she released just now, the house were all covered in frost, making it more freezing, but now Lu Menger released flames to melt those frosts. Lu Menger's purple fire spirit had ice characteristics, so her ice true chi was more overbearing. This was also part of Lu Menger's hidden strength. Chen Xiong wasn't angry. He was now inside a room, digesting the memories. He treated those memories as a big present by Wang Quan. Those 4 formation masters' knowledge on formations far exceeds his expectation. Those 4 people studied different things. When added together it becomes more astonishing. Other than knowledge on formations and formation setting up experiences, Chen Xiong also obtained 3 of Divine Martial Palace's secret skill. These 4 people must be important characters in Divine Martial Palace. Obtaining these secret skills was only average. The best part is that he now knew a lot of Divine Martial Palace's secret. For example, location of Divine Martial Palace's mysterious medicine garden, how to deal with the formation in the medicine garden. And Divine Martial Palace's martial arts pavilion, Divine Martial Palace's alchemy rooms and Divine Martial Palace's dungeon and so forth. Because these 4 people needed to lay formations there to protect those top secret places, therefore they were very clear on it, but now, Chen Xiong had all those memories. Chapter 417, Evil Demon Mysterious Realm. Chapter 417, Evil Demon Mysterious Realm. Chen Xiong learned from the memory that Divine Martial Palace's medicine garden only has 1 fruit of fortune, and it is still hanging on a dead tree. Furthermore, there is unexpectedly some 5 elements true elemental pill and foundation building pills precious materials. There was 2 white jade lotus and 2 life returning grass. Other than those, there is also quite a lot of herbs to refine middle and high grade profound level pill. It was basically a treasure trove. This made him drool, and he wished to ransack it immediately, but it was only wishful thinking because there is a few Nirvana realm warriors guarding it. Once he was caught, it would be over for him. Because King's Continent had a huge natural barrier, so the 3 realms' great war back then didn't have any impact on them, thus they were able to keep some rare herbs and martial skills, making their background very abundant, worthy of the first continent in the mortal world. 3 days of rest ended very quickly. As Chen Xiong made it into top 20, he was able to go to the next stage. No one knew anything about the next stage's content, so he and the rest are waiting at the summit for further announcement. Wang Quan didn't come, instead it was Elder Ding who came. Even without thinking, everyone knows that Wang Quan didn't want to show his presence in the face of other strong warriors so as to avoid apologizing, so hiding was the best choice right now. This is the last stage's elimination round. The 4-person with the best results will move on to the fight in martial arts, and the last man standing will be rewarded. Divine Martial Palace's Elder Ding said. Chen Shang looked at the other warriors, and discovered that a number of them are Wang Quan disciples. They all have an air of arrogance, but their strength are pretty good, if not they wouldn't be able to reach this stage. This stage's content is more unique, and will have a certain danger. In this stage, you will be sent to a mysterious realm that is detaining evil demons. The realm is called Evil Demon Mysterious Realm. Many years ago, our king's continent warriors captured and detained them. As of now there is quite a number of them evil demons in the realm. The strongest should be at peak extreme state, and none at Nirvana realm. This is personally verified by us, Divine Martial Palace. Hearing that this stage was this scary, Chen Shang and others had different complexions. Some were worried, some were excited, and Chen Shang was very calm. If it is really in a mysterious realm, he wasn't any afraid, because he is very confident in this hiding ability. In there has a kind of extreme state evil demons. They all have a demon core within their bodies. This demon core contains very pure white energy, and it is equivalent to our Dantian's true chi ball. It stores huge quantities of pure true chi and life force, with a lot of uses. Once inside, you will need to find and kill those evil demons. You will be ranked according to the amount of demon core you have obtained, and those demon cores will be yours to use too. Chen Shang secretly nodded. This was considered good. These demon cores made him want to stir up trouble, because it contains all of Extreme Realm's energy. The best way to use it was to lay down formations or refine weapons, while the life force within the demon core can be extracted to refine pills. When refining pills, you can add a little in and the pill's healing effect will be better. Elder Ding, can we have confront each other when we are inside? Lanlin asked. Yes, you can have conflicts, but I believe everyone is clear that having a confrontation is a waste of time and wields no benefit. But sometimes when martial arts sparring will be necessary to solve a conflict, for example, two people finding the same evil demons at the same time. Chen Shang asked. What if someone died during the confrontation? Blade and knives have no eyes. This is same as the previous preliminary contest. No one will be blamed for dying. If you are scared of death, you can quit now. Elder Ding said. Chen Shang suddenly felt a number of cold gazes filled with killing intent staring at him. These youngsters was always with Wang Quan. They were all Wang Quan's disciple. All of them were blood warrior, so their strengths were all unfathomable. Furthermore, they are not even the abbot scared of Chen Shang even after hearing what Chen Shang did on his way here. They were all the same. They don't think highly of Chen Shang. Thus, Chen Shang determined that those youngsters aren't simple. After going in, he need to be alert against those guys. If you are scared, you can choose to withdraw now. Elder Ding looked at Chen Shang and rest of the young warriors, waited a while and still no one withdrew. They have already reached this stage. If they were to withdraw now it will not be worth it. Okay, you can start entering now. The time limit is 10 days. At the last day, in the sky of the mysterious realm will appear an exit. All you need to do is jump higher and you will be able to exit. Elder Ding said. Lu Menjie transmitted her voice to Chen Shang. Little rascal, you better be careful. Those demons' strength aren't weak, and try to avoid having any conflict with disciples of Wang Quan. I know, Chen Shang replied. Seeing Lu Menjie care so much about him, he was very elated in his heart. Elder Ding said. First one to go is Lanlin. We will let you in according to the ranking. One will enter every 2 hours. Hearing this rule, Chen Shang was cursing in his heart, but he was unable to say anything, because there was another 5 people behind him. Those people will take longer to go in. Chen Shang was ranked 15th, so he needed to wait more than 20 hours. This was already 1 day worth of time. He was already behind others by 1 day plus. A ball of white light gradually opened. Space power gushes out, following a smell filled with evil spookiness. Now Chen Shang and others know why they needed to come here. Because there was a mysterious realm here, and opening the gate to the mysterious realm was easier here. Divine Martial Palace had kept quiet about this realm so long that even the 4 formation masters didn't know. Ideographic period. I'll go first. Lanlin smiled tenderly, and jumped into the gate. There wasn't even a hint of nervousness. It is hard to believe that such a cute girl like her was not scared of those evil demons. At this time, people gradually left, because there was nothing to watch this stage. It was all happening in the mysterious realm. Lu Menjie and Hua Shangyu nagged at Chen Shang over and over again. Before leaving together, only Ji Yu Dongchen and Wu Kaming stayed to wait for him to go in. Chen Shang waited here for a day and a little more, but he was able to keep calm. He was absorbing the memories during this time. Those things will be very helpful to him. This would allow him to have a solid foundation on formations and weapon refining. Chen Shang, it's your turn. Elder Ding said. Chen Shang opened his eyes, and walked over while smiling. This gate is able to transport all 20 of you to different places, so you don't need to worry about getting ambushed as soon as you reach there. Hopefully you will once again get good results. Elder Ding said to Chen Shang. He was not like Wang Quan who hates Chen Shang to the bone, he was still acceptable of Chen Shang. Chen Shang nodded, and stepped over the gate, everything blacked, and he soon arrived at a dim world, and was filled with thick death chi in here, but what draws the attention of others is that the plants here was filled with vitality. He was able to see a lot of tall trees, and some dark-colored strange flowers. All in all, the atmosphere here wasn't as bad as he had imagined. Chapter 418, Suppressing Devil Yuan Qi. Chapter 418, Suppressing Devil Yuan Qi. After Chen Shang came here, he discovered that other than the frigid evil aura, there was also quite a lot of pure spirit qi. These spirit qi filled up the sky, but once it sinks down, it will be corroded by the evil aura. Worthy of being a mysterious realm, even after detaining so many beasts, it is still able to produce this much pure spirit qi. Chen Shang looked at the tress and said, these trees were able to grow very well because of the spirit qi here. The creation of mysterious realm was very complicated, the conditions were very high. If it is a mysterious realm, the spirit qi is usually more thick, and this particular realm was used to detain beasts tens of thousands of years ago. Chen Shang had to admire the lifeforms in this demon world. Unexpectedly it is able to survive this long. Although the strength did not increase, the lifespan had far overtook humans. This is not what humans can achieve. There's something coming. Long Shui quickly shouted. Chen Shang also heard some noise, like a huge group coming in all directions. Su Meiyao urged. Don't treat it lightly, these beasts were from tens of thousands of years ago. Even if their strength did not increase, their intelligence will definitely not be bad, otherwise they wouldn't have survived this long. Living here in this place for 10,000 years, those able to live till now were definitely strong, but now there is a group surrounding Chen Shang. Why did the king's continent back then detain so many things here? How did they do it? Chen Shang could tell from the movements that there is a lot beasts coming towards him. These beasts all have demon and beast characteristics, their sense of smell and other senses are much stronger than humans, thus they were able to detect that there is human at this direction. Maybe space formations were used to transport this bunch of beasts here, and this mysterious realm was definitely emptied by King's continent. This way, they could slowly kill those beasts without moving. Su Meiyao said. At this point, those beasts were like 1,000 frantic horses running wildly, but Chen Shang wasn't afraid. He have already took out the Azure Dragon slaughtering blade. This blade was very effective against demons and beasts, and this time he also wanted to test out the prowess of suppressing devil divine art. Sensing that there is a large number of beasts nearby, Chen Shang felt the Azure Dragon slaughtering blade tremble, seeming very excited, and Chen Shang also felt the suppressing devil Yuan Qi fluctuate, making Chen Zhang's blood boil, infecting Chen Shang, making him want to immediately start slaughtering. It's coming. Chen Shang only saw a group of beast with human body or human with beast body rushing out from the forest, knocking down many trees, each showing their sharp claws, emitting different howls, making the scene very scary. Even if it was Chen Shang, he still felt numb about it. In this dim environment, suddenly appeared a group of horrifying creatures. Everyone would not feel good. Luckily Chen Shang had already met those beasts before, so at this moment he was pretty calm. Haha, it's human, everyone, release your poison, and poison this weak human to death. We can then slowly enjoy human meat. A sharp voice sounded. Chen Shang felt his hair standing when he heard the voice. Following the voice, Chen Shang saw many beasts emitting colorful gases from their mouth. These things were all poisonous, and when it touched a tree, the tree would instantly melt, showing that the toxicity was very strong. After cultivating suppressing devil divine arts, Chen Shang was immune to all poisons. Even Bai Yuyu's sister, Bai Ziqian, was not able to poison him, let alone these small troops in the beast world. Chen Shang moved his palm, and operated Tai Chi subduing dragon divine art. A very strong suction force was produced in his palm, sucking all the poisonous gas towards his palm, and then he concentrated the different poisonous gases together. Along with the strong suction's force, the poison formed a vortex, pressed together, and finally formed into a small chi ball. Those beasts blanked. They have lived for tens of thousands of years, so they have high intelligence. They of course know what was happening in front of their own eyes. They also know very clearly that what the highly condensed chi ball in Chen Zhang's hands meant. I'll return this to you. Chen Shang laughed coldly, only to see the poison ball in Chen Zhang's palm fly out. It shot into the group of beasts and explodes, exploding out a lot of dark mist. Following it is a lot of miserable howling. Those originally clumped up beasts separated. They all know that the poisonous gas was very scary. Those poisonous gas were made by Chen Shang by merging and condensing to form a very strong poisonous gas. Even these beasts could not easily touch it without any protection. These group of beasts were furiously scolding Chen Shang, this anomaly, who was unexpectedly not afraid of poison, and was even able to easily mix different poisonous gas together like a game. Chen Shang smiled slightly, his body erupted a pure and holy light, the qi scatters from his body and turns golden. This was suppressing devil yuan qi. Chen Shang seldom used this. Feeling this type of aura, those beasts suddenly felt scared. They felt that in front of this strength, they were like ants facing against the mighty gods. The suppressing devil yuan qi disappeared. Chen Shang released the aura to test if the beasts were really afraid of it. From the way the beasts were shouting and wailing frantically, he knew that the suppressing devil yuan qi was very strong. Chen Shang rushed into the group of beasts, waved the azure dragon slaughtering blade in his arms. When filling it with true qi, he also added suppressing devil yuan qi. With a wave, Chen Shang hacked a lion-headed man from the waist. This lion-headed man let out a ghastly wail and died, and there was smoke coming out from the part where he was cut. The beast's body was very corroded by the suppressing devil yuan qi. Chen Shang slashed his blade, exploding out qi waves into the surrounding and hits the body of the beast. He saw the beasts looked like it got hit by a scalding hot molten iron. They were producing smoke and melting. This point, Chen Shang couldn't help but admire the creator of this suppressing devil divine art. He was unexpectedly able to make the suppressing yuan qi so effective against beasts. Chen Shang shua, waved his blade, his body filled with true qi, following the suppressing devil yuan qi exploding out, making those beasts near him run in all directions. Originally, they thought that Chen Shang was a weak human, but they had never thought that he was like a devil god, madly slaughtering them. Furthermore, he can even use a type of energy that made them felt scared. TL note. Shua is the sound of blade cutting through air. Want to flee? Impossible. Chen Shang jumped into the sky, quickly turning true qi into suppressing devil yuan qi, facing the ground with a palm, only to see a huge white palm made from suppressing devil yuan qi congeal, and ferociously pressed down, covering the group of beasts. The ground shook, that palm made from suppressing devil yuan qi exploded, qi wave rushed everywhere, similar to a tide sweeping across the surrounding. Instantly, the surrounding escaping beasts were submerged. Along with cries of agony, a very smelly odor arises. Those beasts were corroded by the suppressing devil yuan qi, all of them were corroded beyond recognition. Chapter 419, Wolf Slave. Chapter 419, Wolf Slave. Chen Shang lightly landed on the floor, and looked towards a direction. Since there is an aura weakening in that direction, during the chaos just now, a monster escaped. The strength of the monster was strong. It might the leader of the group of monster just now. Most likely it will have a monster core, and the motive of Chen Shang coming here wasn't to slaughter these monsters, but was to collect monster cores for a competition. Chen Shang immediately chased after it. This was the first strong monster he encountered in this mysterious realm. He won't let it go. Those little monsters number in thousands, but none of them have any monster cores. Su Meiyao and Bai Yu said before, that monster cores are very valuable. Each piece can be at least sold for 500,000 crystal stones. In ancient times, it was commonly used to lay formations because it contains very pure energy. Chen Shang very quickly saw the escaping big monster. As the distance gets smaller, he was able to clearly feel that within the monster is a ball of extremely pure energy. He can confirm that it was a big monster. It actually is a wolfman. Chen Shang said, although it is a monster, he felt that it was more like a monster man, because most of them transformed from monsters, and they have high intelligence. That's why they are called evil monsters. Long time ago they were indeed called beastmen, but humanity thought that it was insulting to them, so they were renamed to evil monster. Long Shui said. Chen Shang laughed. It would be better if they were more stupid. This way it wouldn't feel scared and afraid, and I wouldn't need to chase for it bitterly. If it was a dumber monster, it would already fight to the death with Chen Shang already. Almost there. Chen Shang smiled, only to see water true qi flow out of his body, and the running monster in front fell down head first. This monster's ankle was wrapped with Chen Zhang's water vine. This werewolf felt a scalding hot wind coming over, immediately went and said, "Don't kill me." Chen Shang originally wanted to directly take the monster core in this werewolf, but he suddenly had an idea. "Give me a reason why I should keep you, or I will take your monster core." Chen Zhang's voice contained a frightening tone, and he also released the suppressing devil yuan qi to make the werewolf uncomfortable. The werewolf was scared witless, although he is at spirit warrior realm beginning stage, but he was unable to face off against both devil suppressing yuan qi and azure dragon slaughtering blade. I don't know, but I can be your goon, I can guide you to find what you want, the werewolf hurriedly said. Chen Shang smiled. I don't trust you. The werewolf's forehead suddenly appeared a spirit pattern. Seeing this spirit pattern, Su Meiyao said, this is the life contract of this evil monster, if you receive it, you can control his life using this contract. Chen Shang caught the spirit pattern went into this palm and disappeared, but he could feel a marvelous feeling. He found out that with a thought, he can kill this werewolf. After living for 10,000s of years, as expected you didn't waste it. Chen Shang laughed. He needed a guide, otherwise he wouldn't know where to get monster cores in this vast mysterious realm, but this werewolf should know. Although Chen Shang had the suppressing devil Yuan Qi, but in this mysterious realm wasn't absolutely safe. There may be stronger monsters, it was strength close to Nirvana realm, and this werewolf have lived here for so many years, it surely knows where the influences extend to. Master, if you have anything for this slave, just speak of it. The werewolf stood up, and said formally, although he was half monster half human, Chen Shang found him pleasing to the eyes, and no sense of loathing at all. Chen Shang asked, in these 1 or 2 days, have you seen any other humans here? The werewolf shook his head, replying Master, I have not met any but I have heard other tribes had met some. Chen Shang nodded his head, in the future, there is no need to call me Master, just reply my question. He once again asked, I need huge quantity of monster cores, you just have to lead the way, leave the rest to me. That werewolf stared blankly. No problem, there is a lot of guys here with monster cores, but if too many died at once, it would arouse this land's demon. Oh, what is the strength of the king here? Chen Shang asked. This werewolf knew quite a lot of things. Only one step more to attract the Nirvana tribulation, only that in this mysterious realm, Nirvana tribulation does not appear here, thus they are unable to break through. Relax, you only need to lead the way, Chen Shang said. The werewolf's red eyes shows traces of worry, but his life was now in the hands of Chen Shang, he could only follow instruction, otherwise, Chen Shang could. Master, you better disguise yourself, this way you would be safer, the werewolf said in a low voice. He was worried that it would cause Chen Shang to be angry. Chen Shang nodded his head, only to see a tail appear behind him. His legs grew some white fur. From the looks, Chen Shang had turned into a white tiger, looking very similar to an evil monster. Now Chen Zhang's spiritual strength was enough for him to turn into a beast with a white tiger shape. To turn a small part of his body was not difficult. That werewolf was shocked in his heart. He didn't know how Chen Shang did it. He even suspected that Chen Shang was a monster too, because it was too similar. White tiger monster, there is a lot of these kind of monsters. The werewolf said, Master, please follow me. The werewolf ran. Chen Shang also ran at the same speed, following behind him. He guessed that the werewolf is bringing him to find the first target, most likely it would be the nemesis of this werewolf. Chen Shang can't be bothered, he was only here for less than 9 days, he needs to get as much monster core as possible in this 9 days. This stage's competition was very harsh, only 4 of 20 people could advance, this made Chen Shang feel quite some pressure. Wolf slave, how many demons with demon core are here? Chen Shang asked. There is about 50 around here, most of them are stronger than me, some are even stronger, the one called king is not nearby, but he might come, the werewolf said. Chen Shang was currently thinking of an all-round plan. There is quite a lot of demons here, if there is a massacre, it might agitate the so-called kings, and would not be a loss. Suddenly, Chen Shang had a flash of insight. He had always wanted to test out the formation in his mind. If used to make a trap, it would be pretty good. He took out 100 beast pill, and gives it to the werewolf. Do you eat this stuff? The werewolf came to a conclusion, gave it a smell, and was instantly happy. The werewolf immediately gulped down on it. Seeing that the demons liked this thing, Chen Shang was secretly happy. He had a lot of 100 beast pills, enough to use as bait to lure those big evil demons with demon core. Chapter 420. Skillfully taking demon cores. Chapter 420. Skillfully taking demon cores. Master, could this be the pill of the mortal world? According to my knowledge, in this mysterious realm, only a certain fruit have the effects of this pill, the werewolf said with feeling. Chen Zhang's eyes shined. He previously thought that there was no heaven and earth treasures here. What fruit? Where is it located? The werewolf stopped. Master, do you want to get the demon core first, or do find the tree? Chen Shang thought for a while, then asked, are you the only one who knows about the location of the tree? Is there any strong guys there? That's not the case, only that the tree is located at dangerous place, that place is filled with strange energy, we can't even get close to it. Those who claim to be kings tried their hardest and was only able to pluck one out, but the effect wasn't as great, so they stopped picking it. I think Master can try to pick it. Chen Shang nodded his head. If that is the case, let's get a demon core first, I'm afraid that it would get taken by others. The werewolf continued to lead Chen Shang. He knew that Chen Shang was rushing for time, so the speed was very fast. Not long later, Long Shui felt that there is demons in front. It's in front, their total number to about 2,000, they are much influential than me, the werewolf said, while sighing lightly. His influence was not small, but it was ruined by Chen Shang instantly. Thinking of Chen Shang's horrifying strength, he had lingering fear. He personally saw many of his subordinates experience the type of extremely uncomfortable strength. TL note. This sentences looks weird lol. Chen Shang said in a low voice. You wait here for me, I'll take a look. The werewolf hid behind a tree, while Chen Shang drilled into the grass, at the same time followed Long Shui's instruction to turn into a lion-headed person, mixing into the tribe. Chen Shang was not discovered, only that some demons found his strange, but they were not suspicious, because there was often cases of rebels from other tribes coming, thus meeting a strange demon did not make them feel strange. There was a lot of thatched roofed huts. Chen Shang very quickly found the tribe leader. It was in a bigger wooden house. The leaders here were similar in strength with the werewolf, having spirit warrior realm beginning stage strength. There is two. Be careful, there is one hiding under the ground. Just now he let out a breath and was found out by me. It should be the tribe's second in command. Long Shui reminded Chen Shang. Chen Shang circled to the window area of the wooden house. Most of the demons in this tribe was resting, only a few was patrolling. Even so, he would not alert other demons to avoid getting surrounded. He did not want to attract the attention of those so-called kings. Feeling the big demon's position in the wooden house, Chen Shang took out the demanding life devil bow, aimed at the big demons in the wooden house, instilled his thick true qi, preparing for a silent assassination. The demanding life bow was an assassination weapon. Along with the increase in Chen Zhang's strength, the arrow shot out will be more powerful. To kill a beginning stage spirit martial realm beast was not a difficult thing. According to his spiritual strengths probing, that demon was lying on a stone bed resting. Chen Shang aimed at the big demon's head, pulled the trigger on the demanding life devil bow, shooting out a hidden arrow. The hidden arrow silently went through the wooden floor, flying straight towards to the demon's head. After Chen Shang felt that the demon's aura weakening, immediately came to the window area, and jumped in. This demon is a leopard head man. His forehead was half blown off when the hidden arrow was shot out, and it is already dead. Chen Shang activated his suppressing devil divine art, released the suppressing devil yuan qi, his hands like eagle claw, along with the suppressing devil yuan qi, fiercely stabbed towards the demon's chest, and effortlessly pierced through the solid muscle, taking out a pure white heart-like item. This is a demon core. What a pure energy, I didn't think that these guys' energy was this pure. Chen Shang said shockingly. Of course, only that when they used this pure energy, it would turn extremely evil when it passed through their innate ability. Su Meiyao said. Chen Shang kept the demon core, used the suppressing devil yuan qi to corrode the body, and silently left the wooden house, walking into another direction. Long Shui told him that, towards there was also another demon with demon core. That guy is underground, most probably sleeping. Long Shui said in a low voice. Chen Shang saw that there was no one around, and the patrolling demons didn't dare to pass through here. Chen Shang quietly neared the place, hiding near a huge log, not letting any patrols see him. Looks like demons with demon core all have their own influence. If he wants to kill them, it is necessary to go past their subordinates first. Chen Shang said in his heart, he had many ways to assassinate. If it was other people, it might be hard to achieve. In another word, those king's continent disciples can easily attract over the so-called kings. Holding on to a demanding life devil bow, he quickly instilled thick and strong true qi. At this point, Chen Shang felt that the demanding life devil bow had reached a bottleneck, because when he instilled too much strong true qi, the demanding life devil bow would shake. If he were to continue pumping true qi, the demanding life devil bow might break. A black key shot out, shooting into the ground, making a small hole. Chen Zhang's spiritual sense was strong, so he was able to feel that he had shot a life-threatening shot directly at the head of the demon underground. TL note. LMAO black key. RIP IDK. What author was writing there? The Ra just said he shoot out a black key. After hitting, Chen Shang quickly walked over, reached out his hand to grab. His hands went through the ground, grabbing the demon core. Afterwards, he once again pumped out large quantity of suppressing devil yuan qi, corroding the body of the beast. The werewolf thought that he would need to wait very long, maybe he might even need to help Chen Shang to fight off the big tribes. Just when he was dreaming, Chen Shang suddenly appeared and gave him a pat on his shoulder, smiled, "I've got it, now bring me to the tree." The werewolf was shocked. So quick. Chen Shang brought out 2 demon cores, laughed, "Of course I'm quick, do you want to personally check it?" The werewolf's body fiercely shook, thinking of how his own demon core would be taken out. He felt extremely scared. He didn't understand how Chen Shang was able to silently do it. Furthermore, his speed was so quick. In just a short 1 hour, Chen Shang had got 2 demon core. His gain was not considered small. If not for the werewolf leading the way, maybe he had to find for it everywhere, and he would even have to fight large amounts of demons. Finally he would attract the kings, and that would be a very annoying thing. Chen Shang followed the werewolf to a gloomy swamp ground. That place was filled with poisonous miasma. That werewolf doesn't seem to be afraid of poison. Chen Shang was absolutely not afraid of poison at all. It is in front the shining place. No one knows where the energy came from, but we do not dare to get near. The werewolf pointed in front and said, "Could it be a pure elemental fruit?" Su Meiyao said in alarm. Chapter 421. Suppressing Devil Treasure Mirror.